Hello, hello, sorry. Millions of miles away. Trying to do 15 different things at once. Where to start? So, talk to Davey about Brian's show with Ben, Hammer Time, and Whitney. I thought, well, I better look at Stuef.com and the countdown. See what it's all about. So I'll wait until people come in, and then if anybody comes in, what's going on here? Don't want to do that. So that's funny. Hey, Davey, you're the first in. Woohoo! I've just been talking to you about Stuef.com. You're the only one in, actually. So, I don't know where you went. Hey, Amy, how you doing? I was talking to myself, Davey, again. I don't know why she's gone. I was chatting away. Hi, NFJ. I was chatting away to you, and you weren't there. So, anyway, it happens that we'll talk about Stuef.com, Brian, Ben, and so I've probably got to find it in the poem then. That was my bad. I was talking for ages, and I thought, well, I didn't think. I said, "What do you think?" Like, are you there? And you weren't there. Hey, Mama Q, I'm good. How are you? Yeah. So, just even if, and I said to Davy's here, but even if I found all this stuff at the very beginning, I wouldn't have been able to tell you it. And worse than that, when I found it just now, well, a few minutes ago, it didn't take long. I said to myself and Davy, I suppose I'm going to have to put it out. And it's as though Forrest has already anticipated my dilemma and told me I was going to do it now. That's crazy. But I just thought, will it wait? Does it really matter? Is it really, part of this? Part of the everything. So, crazy. It is crazy. If I get the right one. Yes, so this is the right one. I'll probably come back to it later. Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So you start the reveal when, and only when, the Stuef.com timers begin. And just when I thought, I don't know whether I should say it or not, it says, Mario, you begin now. So I finished here with all of this. And the answer. And I thought to myself, now you can freeze it and then, copy what I've done there. So just the fun, just find the word, tick them off as they're revealed there. Which says, Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So you start the reveal when and only when the Stuef.com, why can't I say that? The Stuef.com timers begin. Mario, you begin now. So that was, even though it's continuous chronological, this is where I finished when the timer begins. And I was umming and ahhing, like, should I, shouldn't I? And then I looked down and it said, Mario, you begin now. So I went live. To begin, and where is live? There it is. Hello, Glenna. I'll be right back. Oh, hello, goodbye. See you soon. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping out. Imagination of innocence. Woohoo. Meaning of in the woods, in critical condition, near death's door. Well, wood is definitely a coffin. That's when you get your title to the gold. What up, peeps? Hey, Kiwi, how are you doing? So, apparently, the poem's been translated. The secrets of the poem have been translated. And the Stuef.com timer will begin, and then the answer to the Stuef.com will be given. Now, I was just speaking to Davey, and I went to get a GIF, not a GIF. I was supposed to get a picture that was on a GIF, and the GIF had the countdown of 6 days. What did it have the countdown of? 6 days, 32, 42. 6 days, 32, 42. 6 days. 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. So if Stuef.com are listening, the countdown is 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. If they're listening. Which, guess what? Just a little guess, brings us to the 15th. And how that worked. Not me. I haven't just made it up. I went to get a picture for the screenshot, the whatever you call it, title page or whatever you want to call it for this video. And I wanted to either get the final countdown, the song thing, or just the countdown. And it was 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. It's the 9th today, and that brought us to the 15th. Coincidence? I don't know. But that's what it was. And I couldn't use it because it was a GIF, not a picture. So I had to use the final countdown film, which looks remarkably like the round circles that you see on the back wall in Stuef.com. That wasn't intentional either, but as I was doing it, I was thinking, oh, that looks like that. Hey, Golden Key, how you doing? That's quite responsibility. How are you handling this new information? I was a little bit shocked. I was a little bit, shocked and devilish, I suppose, when I saw the 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. I thought, David, that brings us to the 15th. And Ben was talking about the 15th. And they were all talking about the 15th. Not the 15th, but the 15. 1-5. The number 15. And it just so happens that this countdown brings us to the 15th. Coincidence. I did not plan to go to that site. And I said to Davey, as you know, I always do, don't believe that he can do this, but he obviously does. How could he know that I was going to, not doubt, be wary of going live with the information that we just went through? And then put it in the poem right in front of me so I can see it saying you begin now, which is like, oh, okay, so I'll do it now. But I wasn't going to do it now because it's 2 o'clock in the morning now. So I wasn't going to do it now. But it said in the poem, do it now, so I did it now. What are you talking about? I don't know. Davey told me about Brian Gates and Ben and the chat that went on. And, Stuef.com. And I said to Ben a while ago that I wasn't really interested in Stuef.com because The answers are not Stuef.com. Stuef.com is about the answers. So looking at Stuef.com, for me, excuse me, Dave, the answers are not in the room. For me and David, the answers are outside. And even though the picture of the round squirrely thing and the dove in the moon, Fenn rock, Einstein, the clock, all those things, the blaze, the biddies with the blaze hat thing, the bull, whatever that is, bison, buffalo, on the back wall. So, bloke fishing or whatever. Reading in the poem that the secrets of the poem are translated, and when they're translated, then you can talk about Stuef.com. But you can't talk about Stuef.com until you've translated the poem. I don't know how Forrest does it, or did it, or is doing it. So I think of what ifs all the time now. What if that was the first message that I got? What if when I looked in the poem, the first thing I saw was you can reveal everything when the secrets are translated. You can reveal Stuef.com, etc., etc. for the timer. If that was the first thing that I did, it would make absolutely no sense, none at all, because Stuef.com didn't exist, the timers didn't exist, and the poem's not translated. If that's the first thing that I found, I would just think, what a load of bull. But it's not the first thing that I found. And just lately, there is stuff that I'm looking for that I wasn't looking for. So before I wasn't looking for stuff, I was finding stuff. But now I'm looking for stuff to find stuff. So I was looking for the answer. But it says you're not going to get the answer, the poem says. You aren't getting the answer. My poem secrets have been revealed, but you'll get the answers to Stuef.com after. So it may be possible to find the answers to Stuef.com in the poem, but the poem didn't tell me that. It said, revealed that the poem's been translated. Let's do it again. My interpretation of it is, Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So I can't tell you about Stuef.com until I've translated the poem. Don't know how Forrest could know that, or whoever translated the poem. This could have been written for anybody else who has a name in the poem. You all have your name in the poem, so he could have told any one of us. It doesn't have to be me, but I'm reading it from me. But it could have been Troy, could have been Tim, could have been Street, could have been Trusted, could have been anyone. Dave, Man from the East, Davey B, anyone. I'm reading it for me. Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. Mario. So here's Mario. Here's Mario. Here's Mario. Here's Mario. So it's basically doing one little bit and saying, look, here's something, here's something, here's something. So you start the reveal when, and only when, the Stuef.com timers begin. So either timer begins or timers begin, but there is S on both. Here's the S, and here is the S on begins. And again, it takes you to the wood and the gold, as it did in the other video that I showed you. The exact same thing. The exact same thing. which is impossible. Totally different information, but ends with in. Remember, if you watched, in here's the, and here's the, and here's wood, and here's gold. The exact same ending. The exact same ending. And yet it's a totally different bit of information. And yet it ends in the wood and the gold. The noun. The noun. Don't know how. I don't know how. I don't. So the exact same ending. In, the, T for the, either the wood, the gold. Totally different statement, same ending. Totally different words, same ending. I don't know how he does it. And again, you know, I don't know, it just blows my mind. People say you can find anything in any text. Even if you can, it wouldn't be like this. There's no way. There is no way. Statement after statement that is, for me, is easy to find. You know, I don't know how easy it is for other people, whether they try it or not, I don't know. But if Forrest is telling us through the poem what the chase is about, then maybe we should listen. Maybe we should listen. And if that's where the answers are, then maybe that's where we should look. And again, this is not about me being a solver. This is just about Forrest is telling me information. I'm listening to what Forrest is saying, and then I'm acting on whatever, you know, Forrest Fenn is saying. And he's basically said, you know, do it now. Do it now. Tell him now. So I'm telling you now. I did have a bit of reservation about it, and even more so when I saw, you know, it could take us to the 15th if the countdown that I saw, and if I showed you already, find it first. There it is. So if the countdown that I saw, how do I do this? Nope, not like that. Not like that. Definitely not like that. I work out how I do this now. I'm definitely not a Ben, am I? Although I reckon if I had hair and a beard, I'm pretty close. So that's the poem. I don't want that. I want to. Can you see that yet? I have no idea what I'm doing. Share. Share. Window. I can't see it. It's in it. Dum 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 doo dum doo. Oh no! That's me. I want to do that. It looks nice, but how can I do it then? Because I have to be. Oh, this is crazy. I don't know how to do it. Oh, share. Window. It's not there. I don't know how to do it. Because once I take it off that and go back to me, I can't see what I'm sharing. Because I'm not on that page. So I can't share what's on the internet. But 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. If you type in tenor.com, you'll see it. And I didn't type in tenor.com, that's for sure. Oh, It was there and then it went. Did you see it quickly as I went from one to the other? There, gone. Oh, I'd have to share it with me. Tag debit. Oh, can't do it. No, can't do it quick enough. I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try and do it. No, not quick enough. Boo, boo, boo. Give up. It is what it is. Zozo! Hello, hello, hello. Everyone in the CC room. That's two C's. Two C's. It's very important. Two C's. I don't know if you know how important that is, but very important. Oh my gosh, we never stood a chance. Forrest Fenn knew all along that Mario would be the only person in the chase to solve the Super Zoo. Yes. Yes. But I'm not the only one that can solve it because there's other people written in the poem and they could have already solved it before me. You just had to listen and read it. So, but the fact that, and I said to Davey, and it just drives me nuts, the fact that after doing it, probably not even half an hour, after doing it, looking at the time, talking to Davey, I questioned whether I should do it. And then he says, now? You doing it now? What did he say? He said, Mario, you begin now. You begin now. Now, for people like ILI, who probably sarcastically were saying what he was saying, who is this? Troy. Troy could have solved it. And there's other names in here that could connect to this. And he could be telling them, not just me, begin now. You just take that off. Put another name there. If they're prepared to listen. Oh look, RTO, an Orc clerk. Troy, you begin now. Didn't have to be me. Could have been a Moira or a Romeo or a, I can't think of some names. Is that Phil? Phil, you begin now. Pam there? Oh, blank screen. Don't. It says stop sharing. It's going to be a blank screen. Dag nabbit. Can you see it now? So, oh, Houston, you are a problem. So here's Troy. Not just me. And Phil. Not just me. Pam. Could have told Pam. Not just me. Could have told anybody. Doesn't have to be just me. Anybody that was prepared to listen to what Forrest said and then read the poem, how Forrest said. And again, you know, Queen reads the poem, Tim reads the poem, Dashman from the East reads the poem, Steve GTO reads the poem. Who else? Sorry, I've forgotten if I've forgotten who you are, but there's lots of people who read the poem. So the information is there for them to read, not just me. I read it for me, telling you that I'm reading it for me, but I've told you before, you could read it for yourself. Close chat. Tenet. Oh, that's a word. That's a word that I've had right at the beginning of the chase. That word, tenet. Absolutely. And I said, I use the word minim because same sort of thing, but not the same thing, but you know, begins and ends the same. And I was telling David today, I don't understand some people. Forrest says, and people moan about the fact that I say Forrest said, but he did say to arrive back where you started, and nobody does. They have a solve, and they say this is the solve, and they don't arrive back where they started and know the place for the first time, and they say that's the solve. And it's like, what? Didn't Forrest tell you about to arrive back where you first started? So surely that should have something to do with the solve. Something to do with the solve. It was quite uncanny how it happened. It was like Forrest. Yeah, it really is. It's crazy, crazy. Into the Black Void with Mario. Accused Natalia. Hey, wait a minute. How do you know which Mario to use in the correct statement? And that is meant for you, or do you just flip a coin? Well, you don't, do you? That's just it. You don't. The problem was we were talking about Stuef.com. So Stuef.com. Find Stuef.com. Then find what Forrest is saying to you about Stuef.com. That's it. So you find Stuef.com, and then if I find my name, what does Forrest say here? Well, he said, so you start, so you begin, so you start the reveal. So at this name, he says, so you start the reveal. But at this name, he said, Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed. So from that Mario, here's Stuef.com, is answer. I wasn't going to do this, but you can work it out for yourself. Here's the words. Here are the words. Work it out for yourself. And that's what you should have been doing all along. Should have been working it out using. How many people with a solution shift, drift, and adjust? What's this? How many people are best able to adapt? None of you. Your solve is a solve based on whatever criteria you have. That's it. But there is no shifting, drifting, adjusting. There's no moving with confidence. There's no best able to adapt. There's no continuous, contiguous, chronological. There's no sure for the one that did. There's none of those things that Forrest say. But come up with a solve and say, yeah, this is the correct solve. And yet I'm trying to do everything that Forrest said. Please touch, don't step on a crack. I'm trying to do all those things, and as I've shown you, and this is just information. This is not about a chest, because it wasn't about a chest. But the chest, you can find a chest. And it is so simple. So simple to find a chest. Fade to black. Is that? Oh, I can't remember her name. Dead now. I can't make sense of it all. Sorry. I don't know how Forrest. If this is all coincidence, I've had coincidences for 4 years, 5 years, maybe even 6. They can't all be coincidences. And again, anybody who listens to Forrest could have done this. Anyone. It doesn't have to be me. As I've just shown you. Could be Troy. Could be Phil. Could be Pam. Here's the poem. Could be, I don't know. Is that Will? There's Will. Could have been Will. William. No, just Will. No, William. No. Yes, no. Oh, no. Trying to read it upside down, backwards, sideways. Definitely Will. So it could have been a lot of people. Will Aware. Could have been Will Aware, for all I know. Could have been anybody who wanted to read the poem. The names are there. And I could be wrong. But this is what the poem says. I'll show you what the poem says. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to fake it. There it is in multicolored rainbows with, balls of string that managed to fit out of the door when they're all used and put into the poem. CIA? Don't say that. Agent Time Travel Save Society. And good questions are helpful tools. That's all. Remember, the final outcome has purpose. How can you ask such a question if you have never asked how a person soul works? The thing is, with the poem, everyone's soul is in this poem. And I've told you, I've done hundreds of souls, and they're not the right answer. There's a solve, there's a diabolical solve, and I've already said that somebody did it and they don't understand what they did, but they did do it, and they totally read it the wrong way, what they did, and what was supposed to be the meaning of it. And then there's a simple solve, and then there's a post-it note solve, the simple solve, and then there's the difficult but not impossible solve. But that, just the word difficult is your answer. That's your answer. Drive to the first clue. That's your answer. Your best revenge is me wearing a bracelet. That's your answer. It's in a safe place. That's your answer. Forrest is just giving you the answer in the words that he gives you, and you're not listening to him. Sure, you've seen them, but have you been quiet? That's all I ever did. Forrest. And then you ask the question, because you have to think, what if? What if? I was told Troy, his solve is in here, but his solve is not in here as 5 springs. His solve is in here as 5 waters. Synonym of waters. What could that be? I wonder if it could be springs. It's already in here, written. Forrest says, don't tell me you found a chest. Why not, Forrest? Why would I not bother telling you I found a chest? Because it's the lure, Mario. Oh, right, okay. Don't worry about Jack. It's the lure. Not fake. Not fake. The lure. Hey, Luli, how are you? Where is mine? Where's your what? Your name? Well, isn't that the fun? Forrest says, have fun. Surely you can look for your own name, but your name will probably be here somewhere. If you just want IOI, then that'll be anywhere. There'll be plenty of IOIs. In fact, is there an IOI near Mario? No. No, not near Mario. IOI. Let me see if I can find an IOI. Imagination's probably over here. Just want to see an IOI. If it was abbreviated to just the... Oh, it might be down the bottom here, actually. Oh, I can't move it, can I? I'm looking at the screen. I'm trying to move it up. I can't move it up. I can't even move it up unless I go off. No, not there. I haven't looked for IOI, I have to admit. Not something that came to mind. Ooh, close. Nope, can't see it there. But I have a feeling it might be down here. Let me just have a quick look. How do I do that without... Bum, 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 bum. Ooh. I-O-I-O. Oh, it doesn't look like you exist. There's plenty of O-I-O. O-I-O. I'm shocked that Forrest hasn't given you an O-I-O. Oh, there it is. There it is. You are at... Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the wood, I'll give you title to the gold. So you are the if, the I, and the O. So if you want IOI, that's where it is. If you want imagination, I would assume that imagination is Imagination can make a man of you. Here, where Homer Brown and Is Ever Drawing Nigh, all that stuff is. You might be there somewhere. Might be, I don't know. It's not something that I do. Always don't look in there for you people. You need Forrest Fenn solved. The reason why he created the chase. He was after a spiffet. Yes, I'm sorry, but with the poem configured like this, now I can't unsee. No, it's worse than that. It's who farted. It's worse than that, Mama Q. Read it properly. It's hoof arted. Oh, that's terrible. Yes, he did. Not my name, my soul. No, it has to be your name. Your name has to come with your soul. Your name has to be part of your soul. The solve comes with the person who did the solve. Don't tell me your name. No, don't tell me you found a chest. I don't need to know your name. Because your name and your solve and the fact you found a chest is in the poem. And Forrest doesn't need to know it. He already knows that. He wants to know, can you read what the poem says? He knows you found a chest. He knows everybody who found a chest. Doesn't want to know that. He wants to know if you can read the poem. In your solve, did you read the poem or did you find a chest? Did you use my words? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did you use them words by listening to Forrest or did you make up your own? Did you find your own soul? As Forrest said, nobody can think my thoughts. So therefore, if you had a thought about a solve and it didn't come via Forrest, it can't be right. Because nobody can think what he did. Whatever Forrest did, you're not going to think of it. It's not going to come from your own mind. Ever. Ever. Seriously, ever. What Forrest did, no one will think of. I didn't think of it. Forrest had to tell me. I had to read it in the poem. Or I had to follow what he did. I looked up all the words in that poem, especially the nouns. All of them. And that's, the conversation that I had with Forrest. Just listening, not, real. All the words. You looked all the words up. I say 167 because they'll be is their will. So I looked up will just in case. The 166 words, some of them repeated, so that's fine. They need to look it up again. But if Forrest looked them all up, why? Why look them all up? Hey, Hammer Time. Fart is something that is supposed to be in there and it connects to Benjamin Franklin. I really like how you're interpreting this now. This is good. There are also more ways to use it than I work this way. Yes, there are many. I've done those ways. Tim does it differently. Troy did it differently, but you can use that not just for Try the Wheel. I did it and it says where the treasure lies in my poem is the answer to my poem, whatever title of my poem, whatever it said. Yeah, so you can do it that way, sliding them up, down, read up, down. One of them was mail a coin. Somebody told me of another one, but that meant you had to jump over the poem and go back the other way, but still valid. Something to do with the wheel, but I'm not going to say who it was and what it was. Queen finds different stuff. Similar way, but finds different stuff. Dutchman from the East finds different stuff, different ways. See, you can read the poem and it's fragmented, so you can find information here, and then further in the poem there's some information that talks about that information there, but that's not continuous, contiguous, chronological. So I tend to dismiss those. They're not wrong. It still is information. There's information about the history. The one that I did was Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, because Billy the Kid was in the chase and in the book. Bill E. the Kid, which is easier to find than Billy the Kid. But yeah, just too much. There's too much in there. But you missed Hammer Time. You missed that I was going to put a screenshot on here because I thought it was a picture. And it's the 9th today. And the countdown on it, with the same amount of numbers as is on Stuef.com, was 6 days, 2 hours, 32 minutes, 42 seconds. Took us to the 15th. I couldn't use it because it was a GIF, not a picture. I will save you the trouble. He never wrote it down. No, he hasn't wrote it down. Those words don't exist. Only in your imagination. Just like the answer to the poem only exists in your imagination. You don't need to do any of it. The only reason that those words exist that I told you about just now is because I made them up. He didn't write that word. He wrote, "As I have gone alone in there and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where and hint of riches new and old." That's what Forrest wrote. The other stuff is my imagination. He never wrote it down. You see how it works? He's a smart cookie, Forrest is. He hasn't wrote it down. He wrote a load of words that connect together that make other words. A flutterby is a butterfly. Did he say it? Of course he did. Of course he did. And you can't deny it. So he wrote the word flutterby. But you know it's a butterfly. What does it matter as long as the person knows what it is that you're saying? He doesn't have to write any of those words down, as long as somebody knows what he's saying. So those words aren't written down. And the location isn't written down. Only in my imagination is it written down. In my interpretation of the mess that is on the screen. And it could have been typed. That's not written. He could have used speech. It's not written. You see how Forrest works? You've got to get up quick. I think he said something like that, you're going to have to get up quick to catch him or something. So you're not saving me any trouble. And again, I could be wrong. But I know that I've been listening. I know I've been thinking, what if? I know I've been touching. I know I've been continuous, contiguous, chronological. I know I've been sure. I know I've been moving with confidence. I know I've shifted, drifted, adjusted. I know I've been able to adapt. Can you all say the same thing? Of course you can't, because you haven't done any of those things. And that's the difference. Again, I'm not saying I'm the solver. I'm saying here's the journey that I went on. This is information that I got. Anybody could have got this information. I am telling the information that I got using my name, but there are other names in there, as I've just shown you. Now you could find your solve in there, IOI, with your name. You don't even need to find it. You can find it yourself. And trust me, you'll find it. Yeah, and that is why the poem had to be just so. Poem had to be the way that it is. Had to be the way that it is. Wouldn't work any other way. Hey, Fenn. Tastic. How are you? I thought I just answered. What do you mean you're unable to answer? That is a person in denial. I just answered your question. I just answered it. I answered your question. I'm not looking for your solve. You can find it yourself. That's an answer to your question. I've told you Forrest didn't write it down. That's an answer to your question. Why have I not answered your question? I am personally not afraid to say that I do not know. How many times have I said? How many times have I said it? How many times have I said it? I don't know how Forrest did this. It could be coincidence. Does that sound like I've said I don't know? Of course it does. Do you hear me saying it? Of course you don't. Because you want to think one way, your way. You want to believe that everything that you know about the thrill of the chase is about what you thought about. That's an important word. A bit like what if. If you think what if, hang on, what if Forrest did say, nobody can think my thoughts? How will I know my answer could be correct? It can't be correct. Anything that you thought, anything that you thought, anything that you thought, not what Forrest thought. So he had to tell you. Did Forrest tell you? Did Forrest Fenn tell you the answer? Or are you thinking you have the answer because of your intelligence or your stupidity? Which one is it? You are smart enough to know that you have the right answer without being able to think what Forrest Fenn thought. I'm not smart enough to do that. And I've admitted that. None of this is me. What I'm saying to you now is not me. This is what Forrest Fenn told me in the poem, in the interviews, in the book. None of it is me because I'm not smart enough to do it. But I am smart enough to know I'm not smart enough to do it. And I am smart enough to know that Forrest Fenn is going to have to tell me. And I am smart enough to know that if somebody tells me to listen, I listen. I don't think I know it all. I don't think I have all the answers. I listen for somebody to tell me the answers. All good. Hey, Hooley. It's good to see you. Good colours tonight. Well, just a ball of string. See imagination. Thanks for coming in. Just my imagination running away with me. Watch my kid play his last home baseball game. Well, wish him luck. I hope he hits it out of the park, as Forrest should do. I love Scrabble. That was another. I forgot about that. Thank you for that, Robert. That was another thing. Scrabble we played with Forrest. I agree. Names are important. Give yourself a. There's a way, even if it's not you, you can still know exactly. Forrest said, "There's a way to know." I'm leaving that for the finder, whoever the finder is. There's only one way in. I like when my brain helps me and understand for the first time it was a strike moment, a ha-ha moment. Aha. No location, no location, solution. Hamilton, what we are doing is not new. People refuse to see what we are saying and sharing. We've been doing it for years. Yeah, I think Hamilton knows that. And I'm going to say years before it was found. Didn't look in my Scrabble red bag. Hey, everybody. Oh, Newman feels fantastic. Oh, good job you didn't say fantastic because he's in chat. You're wondering. I think the chase has led you to psychosis. Yeah, you may be right. But it led me somewhere. At least it led me somewhere. Scrabble family champion. Woohoo! Not marble champion. PageMaker? Who's PageMaker? Don't know that name. Must have missed that one. I think the chase. Why don't you write the poem in Scrabble letters? It may be easier. Yeah, I tried that. Well, I didn't try it. I thought, how many bags of Scrabble letters would I need to write the poem? And in the poem, as with Street's email, there's lots of free E's, lots of T's, lots of H's. I don't know how many I'd have to go buying loads of Scrabble just to do that. Yes. So I wrote in pencil, rubbing it out because I couldn't use a computer when I first started this, and I was writing it in pencil and then rubbing it out and then starting again and rubbing it out, starting again, and I thought, no, this is too much. This is too much. And that was after I was writing the synonyms down from the words. And trust me, there's a lot of words. I think Queen will tell you there's a lot of words. So I was getting the synonym of words and writing them all down, and then trying to make a sentence that made some sense. More often than not, it didn't make any sense at all. It's like, no, it can't be that. That's a stupid thing. That's not that. So I looked up all the words in the poem and then tried to make different sentences with the synonyms of those words to see what Forrest Fenn really said. Because Douglas Preston said he saw the first draft of the poem that took 15 years. No. The only way you can see the first draft of a poem that took 15 years is you saw the original before the words were changed. That's what you saw. Sorry, Douglas, that's just what I think. So if you saw the original, which is, I wrote a poem, here it is. Now how am I going to hide all that? And what am I going to do with all the other stuff? Whatever. However they did it, I don't know. However it was done, I don't know. But the simple solution, you don't need to mess with the poem. These people say, oh, you're messing with the poem. Listen, I'll just say this for the last time, please. Please listen. Please listen. Please listen. There is a soul for a chest, which is simple. You read the poem, and a little bit of imagination tells you the place for a chest. And those rules are, it's so many miles north of, well, links and chains, north of Santa Fe, etc., etc., etc. There are rules for that chest. There are no rules for the secret treasure. That is up to you to find out. That is up to you to listen to Forrest. That is for you to know riches new and old. What the heck are they? Once you know that, it's not that difficult. It's certainly not impossible, but difficult may get you a chest. Difficult may get you a secret treasure if you listen to what Forrest Fenn said. And again, anybody could have done it. Anybody. Anybody who listened to Forrest, who wasn't just trying to find a chest of gold in the Rocky Mountains, could have done this. If, remember the if, I did a poem about it, if they thought, what if? What if? But I forgot about Scrabble. Played Scrabble as well. Yeah, it's been a long time. Hoodie? Not much new. What do you mean not much new to talk about? I'm talking about new stuff. Your moustache is crooked. It's always crooked. It's on a crooked head. I never have a good tash. I said I've shaved my tash 4 times in my life. And that's because I tried to make it straight and then went too far and then too far and too far, and then I just had to cut it off. One time I looked like Hitler. I just had a bit in the middle. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, so now I'll just do the bit and then that's it. I'm going to try and make it right because I end up going too far and shave it all off. And that's not good. The chest was found, the chest was sold. So the story. No, ghost dancer, no. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop right there. You're worse than K-Pro when you say things like that. The chest was not sold. Shiloh said it wouldn't be, and it wasn't. Stop it. You're not listening to the facts. Or you're listening to the facts and you're spreading vicious rumours. The chest was not sold at Heritage Auction. Ever. I don't get why people do that. I really don't. The chest wasn't sold. You were told it wasn't sold. And yet you come on shouting and screaming and saying, no, it's all over and it's finished and the chest was sold. It wasn't sold. I'm so busy doing back-to-back shows. Ugh, so tired. Ooh, thinking about the place for 15 years and wording and designing the poem. It must have been. He said he was obsessed. That's what he told us. It's already, taken over one person's life. I don't think he was talking about the finder when he said it. A crooked tash to get a crooked sixpence, a crock a crooked mile. Was your crooked moustache in the poem, Mary? Probably. Knowing Forrest, he'd probably put it in there. If it was, it would have been up northwest from the chest. Hit the like and give Mary some love. 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 I am too, Lily. Too busy. Yeah, you busy people. I'm busy now, but I wasn't expecting to be busy. I said to Davey, I wasn't expecting to do this. I was just having a chat with David, to be fair. Obviously, he's getting up and I'm going to bed, so just at that time. But, we started discussing stuff, and then, no, I'm not going to bang you. Just don't get why people say those things. I would appreciate an apology, not for me, for Forrest Fenn and for the chase community. Stop saying that the chess was sold when it wasn't, and saying the chase is over when it isn't. If you don't know what the answers are, why are you making statements that aren't true? It was auctioned off. The chest was. No, it wasn't. It was separated from the gold and everything, as was the dragon bracelet, if you bother to follow anything. I fell asleep listening. Well, you probably fall asleep listening to mine. Wasn't auctioned off. Again, you don't listen. I haven't told you I've sold anything. It's people like you that ruin it for normal people. I'm quite happy to have a chat with you, but when you start saying lies, what's that all about? It wasn't auctioned off. Why are you adamant that it's auctioned off when, if you truly are in the chase, you should know it wasn't? Why are you being argumentative over something that you're wrong about? No, you were told it wasn't sold. You were told it wasn't going to be sold. That's not up to you or anyone else to decide. You were told those things weren't going to be sold. You were told that. That's up to whoever owned the chest at the time. Not up to you and not up to anybody else who's disgruntled because they couldn't solve the poem. You were told when it went to Heritage Auction that the chest would not be sold. Whoever owns the chest, whoever owned the chest, wasn't you, whoever owned it could decide what they wanted to do with it. Has nothing to do with you or anyone else. The chest was not sold. Has nothing to do with you. Only the people who owned it. You have no right to it. You have no say about it. It was not sold. You know that's a fact. Crazy. Crazy. There's no hoax or anything. If you own a car and you want to sell the car, but you don't want to sell the seats inside, you take the seats out and you sell the car. It has nothing to do with anybody else but you. And you sold a car, but you didn't sell the seats inside. Well, they didn't want to sell the chest or the dragon bracelet. It was a real auction. The gold was sold and everything was sold. Crazy people. Last place, mate. Last, not second. I'm not in it to win it. Crazy people. Thanks, Lily. Yeah, very bold statement. It doesn't matter. I'm not in here for me. I'm in here for Forrest and making this happen. Whoever did this, I congratulate. But those people that haven't got two brain cells to knock about together, pee me off. The chest was not sold. Stop it. Stop lying. Stop thinking, if I don't know anything, you know less than me, because you don't even know the chest wasn't sold. That to me says you didn't pay too much attention at all as to what was going on in the chase. If you didn't know the chest was not sold, crazy. Yeah, you are frank, but wrong. I'm not claiming I've got proof of anything. Why are you arguing? I am no threat to you. You're the solver. You, Bill, and everyone else. You're all the solver. I don't care. I'm not here. I'm not here to try and take a chest off you. I'm not looking for a chest. Not looking for a chest. Did not look for a chest for 5 years. I wasn't looking for a chest. I'm not here to take your chest off you. Keep your chest. Crazy people. Zero proof. I'm not trying to give you proof. I'm trying to explain to you the simple truth. The simple truth. Do you know what that means? Any idea what that means? The simple truth? How it could be difficult but not impossible? Have you any idea what it means? No. I'm telling them, Forrest, but they're not listening. You don't have to listen. You don't have to be here. You're trying to make me out to be the baddie. I'm not the baddie. I'm telling you the truth. You don't want to hear it. Go then. But it is the truth. Whether you stay here or whether you go, the truth that I'm telling you, the chest was not sold at Heritage, it's still the truth. It's still the truth. Running away from it ain't going to save you. The fact that you didn't know it means you don't know much at all. I don't know. Hey, Queen. 2 holes in the ground, Tigger. Yeah, the chest contents were auctioned, not the chest. There's a big difference. It's a massive difference. It tells you everything you need to know if you listen. There was more than one chest. You're telling me that now, 5 years after I've already said that. You don't know much at all, do you? You have not listened to a single word that's happened in this chase. You're telling me there's more than one chest 5 years after I was telling everyone. Get a life. Hey, Steve, how you doing? I'm not really angry. I'm just... Don't tell me you found it. Yeah, totally knows, Davey. I'm just laughing, really. And they are wicked and ungodly. Who? Read me what the poem says. Yeah, I've said it 100 times, Dave, and they're not listening, so it don't matter. They'll learn. If you'd have finally you'd have thrown the chest in there. If you'd have done that, then there'd have been a lot more people dead because they've all gone in looking for it. Well, I'll see you there then, will I, GDR? Well, maybe not because you're in America. Yeah, he's been a regular there. That's why. You did your homework. Do I have to mark it? Don't have anything to do with Street and his cronies. At the end of the day, I don't mind. I'm not really angry. I'm shouting at GDR, but I'm not really angry. I just find it funny that these people say things and do things, and it has no relevance to what Forrest has said or done. And they say that they've solved the poem and they've done this and they've done that, and they have no idea what Forrest has done. None. They don't know who Forrest is. They don't know what this is about. They don't know how two can keep a secret. One of them is dead. They have no idea, and they come up with their solves and say my solve is the correct solve, and it makes me laugh. And I don't mind if it is, even if it is. I'm not really bothered. This was never about anybody other than Forrest Fenn. And if you think that you have got one over on Forrest, tell you what, you're in for a root shock. You're in for a root shock. Hey Troy, how's it going? Not too smart. I've been listening to the same mumbo jumbo since 6/6/2020. No, this is not mumbo jumbo though, is it? And like I said, you're not listening to it if you say that the chess has been sold to heritage. You're not listening. Yeah, he definitely doesn't like Christians. No, not a mess, but thanks, Hamilton. I wish I could do the things I was. Yes. Yes, if you knew what that meant, you'd know that some person who did something right did it wrong and didn't even know. If I were to in trouble. He will make it happen. Absolutely. 100%. It will make it happen. I'll mark your homework later, but yeah, I think you get the answers. There is a simple truth to all of this, and a serious endeavour, very serious, um, to aid everybody. To be fair, and I don't know how. Have no idea. None. I don't know. I can't even. I can't. Well, I'm not smart anyway, but I can't even think how he could start with the idea and then you know amalgamate it all and have this catalyst that will explode. It'll explode. It'll explode. Boo. Oh, you just made me jump. That wasn't nice. What did you make me jump for? So you were lurking. Blimey, 7 likes already and 31 people. You were lurking, were you? This, if you've all missed it, this was about Forrest writing into the poem, if that's how it was. That, oh, put it on. And, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. I'm not overly fussed that you want to. It's there, and you can check it for yourself. Tick off the bit of word search as those synonyms mean. Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So you start the reveal when, and only when, the Stuef.com timers, it says timers begins, or it could be timer begins, but there are two S's, so whether both of them are going to start at the same time or one of them is going to start and then another one. And I was talking to Davey, and I just questioned myself whether I should do it at the time that we'd done it, go live straight away, or just leave it for a bit. And Forrest wrote as an afterthought, I don't know, or because he knew that I was going to have not a doubt to do it, but a doubt as to do it. It said, Mario, you begin now, which I took out because people were saying, well, Imagination of Innocence was saying, oh, so he wrote the poem just for you? And I said, no, he could have wrote it for Troy or Pam or Will. They could have all read this, or other people. They could have all read it, but I used my name, which is Mario, which is here. But it's not the only name there. So, no. Don't tell me it's a blank screen again. Don't tell me it's a blank screen again. but you'll see it earlier on, and I put it on earlier. So the information is there. Again, following the same continuous, contiguous, chronological, shifting, drifting, adjusting, moving with confidence, sure for the one that did, the one that was best able to adapt, etc., etc., etc. All those things that Forrest said. I am doing, we are doing, and you are not, and you're saying that you have the correct solve. But you're not moving with confidence. You're not shifting, drifting, adjusting. You're not best able to adapt. You're not moving with confidence. It's not sure for the one that did. Not touching. None of those things. Yeah, blank screen. It's let me try it again. But uh-oh. You see? Try and do that. Oh, that's why. No, not the brutal tooth tattoo one. Right, then I do this. Then it should work. So Troy's name is here now, but it could be Pam, it could be Will, it could be anyone talking, Forrest is talking to. But I use my name because that's my name there. And it says, you begin now. Well, I've done all of this. I was just questioning myself to Davey, and I looked down and it says, you begin now. As though he was telling me the answer to the question that I just gave to Davey B. Am I going to do it now? It was 1 o'clock, I think, at the time. Am I going to do it now, or shall I leave it? And it says, no, Mario, you begin now. So I thought, oh, we better go live now then. If Forrest is saying I begin now, he's already known that I was going to do this. I would have a question in my mind that was, do I do it now, or do I leave it? And he told me I did it now. So I did it now. And you don't have to believe it. I don't care. This is not about me, not about Davey B, not about anybody in the chase. This is about Forrest Fenn. Just about Forrest Fenn. Whoever the solver is, I congratulate the solver. Honestly, I congratulate the solver. Whoever that is. I would like to know who that is, but I'm not fussed. But I am fussed that Forrest makes it happen. I am fussed about that. And I think that will happen. Well, I know that will happen. I know that will happen. And, it goes along with, I can do that, Forrest says. And me saying, I hope he lives to be 125. And if he says he can do it, then he probably will. I need to take off. Are you in a plane? Just want to say hi. Hi. Well, thanks, Troy. I hope you're, I can't say feeling better, but I hope your mind is more at rest with the answers and that you got. I have some idea of what it's like, but I don't know personally. I mean, my wife went through lots of it. But personally, I don't know what it's like. But it's not good for you, not good for the family or friends. So I hope you're good. Yeah, stick of shore, ugly, really. Great Troy, devil worship at 3 a.m. See that. There's no need for that street. You might not believe in Christians, but you don't need to say that you're a worshipper of the devil. I stick up for Greg. There is no reason anyone should be through what. If you want about the videos and that, yeah, if you want about that, Greg, yes, Woody. I said the other day, they should come down. Whoever's responsible for them should take them down. It's that simple. Don't even need to think about it. If it's causing anyone distress, then you take it down. That's it. You are red horse. Ooh. Red's good, but not red horse. I'm a mystic. Uh-oh. Just said I was antibodies. That's more 3 a.m. Yes. But 3 a.m. is also the time for love. So, which is it? Which is it? And I say that because of KLF. KLF and 3 a.m. till I come. What time is love? What time is love is 3 a.m. and the other one I can't remember now. Why so frustrated? Yes, I think he's gone, hasn't he? Everybody's frustrated, but I don't know how many times I can say the same thing. If somebody tells you things are not what they seem, why are you worried about them? That's like saying they're there, don't worry. It ain't that bad. Things are not what they seem, words don't mean what you think they do. So everything that you've seen, read, and heard is not what you think it is. So why are you trying to make sense of it? Again, it's like living in the Matrix, weirded out by what's happened in there, then getting unplugged and coming out into the real world and knowing that everything that you'd gone through wasn't real. No such thing, Street. if there's no God, there's no devil, Street. You're talking yourself into a corner. If God, as you said, chucked the devil out of heaven and gave him to us, then God exists. And you're admitting God exists by saying that he gave us the devil. It's stupid to say that. You can't say he doesn't exist and then say he gave us the devil. It's one or the other. He didn't exist, there's no devil. Or he does exist and he gave us the devil. It can't be both. I don't know what you're doing in the argument. I don't know why you're having that argument. God doesn't exist, then the devil doesn't exist. You can't have both. You can't say God threw him out if that person doesn't exist. I'm not really angry, but it just makes me laugh. It really makes me laugh. I think you're saying that God doesn't exist. This bearded white guy in a robe in the streets paved with gold doesn't exist. But he gave us the devil. How the heck did he do that if he doesn't exist? And if he doesn't exist, where the heck did the devil come from? And why are we talking about the devil if God doesn't exist? Because that's how the devil exists, because of God. You can't have that argument. You can't have that argument to a Christian. Say your God doesn't exist, but he chucked out the devil from heaven. You can't have that argument. I'm relaxed. I'm just finding you out. Listen, I've said before, I'm not really angry. But in this chase, you have to say something like that, otherwise people don't listen. Because when somebody speaks politely to you, you don't listen to it. But you'll listen to that. If God threw out the devil, you admit that God exists. You, who says he doesn't, admits that God exists because he's the person, the bearded white guy, that gave us the devil. Now you've got two choices. God doesn't exist. He never chucked out the devil. Or God does exist, and he did chuck out the devil. Therefore, you're saying the bearded white guy, he exists. He gave us the devil. One or the other. Can't be both. No God, no devil. Devil, God. Make up your mind which one it is. Luli? You blocked Luli? How the hell can you block Luli? That's crazy. Oh, neither exists. Nice to see everyone get on. What's that got to do with boots on the ground? See, you don't listen, do you, Ghost? Absolutely not a flipping smidgen of an earshot, listen for once in your life. Listen. The reason I do what I do is because I went boots on the ground. Did you hear that? Because I went boots on the ground. If you even listened just a little bit, you'd have heard me say more than once on many of my videos how I came to be doing what I'm doing. Because I did go boots on the ground. And I realised, looks like you haven't, that I was a greedy son of a bitch. And I was effing stupid to be there. Boots on the ground. If you listened, you'd have heard that I went to Wyoming. Boots on the ground. You'd have heard that if you listened. I'm the devil. Hope you guessed my name. Oh, guess my name. My white beard exists, therefore I am. Therefore you truly are trusted. But your white beard has existed for many, 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 many millennium. Millennium. Not Falcon. How are you trusted? No godlike entities exist. Yes, so nothing exists. We were here just through pure accident, through evolution. Unfortunately, what you don't seem to grasp is how many, any types, creatures, insects, birds, mammals, fish, how many have become extinct and how many have evolved into a different animal, different type of creature. I think that if creatures can't adapt to the environment they live in, they die. They don't evolve. They die, which is still happening now. They die. They don't evolve. The reason we stay alive, is because we can think and we can clothe ourselves and we can look after ourselves pretty well, but we don't evolve. In fact, we might devolve with all this AI and everything. We won't be able to think for ourselves. Creatures don't evolve, they die. They die. They may adapt, they're still the same creature, but they don't evolve to a different surrounding. They die. If they can't survive in the place that they are, they die. That's it. That's it. No evolving, just death. Queen, hope all is well with your world. Satan is Lord of the Old Testament. Oh, hint of riches new and old. Is he talking about the Old and New Testament? Oh dear. Am I contradicting myself? It's the same story. How do I contradict myself? I went boots on the ground. How is that a contradiction? I went boots on the ground and I called myself an effing idiot twice, said, Mario, you learnt two things today. You're an effing idiot and you're an effing idiot. Because if you listened, I said, I went to America to get a chest which weighs 40 pounds. And I was going to take that chest back to my hotel. And from my hotel, I was going to take it to the airport. And from the airport, I was going to bring it home to my house. Because I was in America. Boots on the ground. Knowing that's not going to happen. Because I was a greedy son of a bitch who went there with the gold fever thinking, I'm going to get this. Now, with the way that you're acting and saying what you're saying, maybe you don't realise, but there is no way I was going to get it to the hotel. There is no way I was going to get it to the plane, get on the plane and get back to England. Is there? Being boots on the ground in America. But you said, oh, you didn't go boots on the ground. Of course I went boots on the ground. You only need one boots on the ground to know it's not boots on the ground. Why though? We used to be friends. What did I do? Oh, I don't know who you're talking about now. You talk about Street? I don't know. I don't know why people fall out. I'm not really falling out with Ghost Dance. I'm just being awkward. Before Homo sapiens, there was a humanoid whose brain was the size of an orange. Who told you that, Trusted? Were you there? You were there. You were there. That's not what you said the other day. No, I have never said. See, you do not listen. I said that when I was happy with myself, I would not be going to America. That's what I said, Ghost. If you listen, I was happy with myself, but I would not be going to America. That's what I said. Understand? Did you hear? Happy with myself, not going to America. Not I have never been to America. I was happy with myself and I was not going to America. Good job I didn't. 4 years later, guess what? We're still here. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Any idea what that is? I have an idea what that might be. But I don't need to go to America. Not about me. I'm learning English as my first language. Trusted, what was your ancestor's name? Homo sapien. That's what I thought. No, probably before then. Probably Sumerian. I will not be a middle guy on this, Lulu. Sorry. Yeah, it don't matter. They don't listen. I've learned ages ago people don't listen. I really have. But, that's a crazy thing to say. Oh, you're saying something different now. How can I be saying something different? I would be more stupid than how you're acting if I said something different than I went to America once, boots on the ground, worst time of my life. And when I told Forrest, wrote him an email and said I was happy with myself, I told him I would not be coming to America in the near future. Something like that. I don't know what I said. I will make a clip of what you said. Make a clip. I know what I said. You've not solved, and you have not solved, read the poem. Me? Oh dear, I failed. King John Lackland. That's his ancestor's name. Oh dear. Was he the one that started the Knights Templar? I know you did say you were playing it all and pretending like a game. What would they want? It's on video. Of course it's on video. Go to it then. Do it. I know what I said. I've told you the truth. So it can't be any different than I went to America once. Worst time of my life. Ended up at an airport in Canada giving some lady some food and drink. After about a day's waiting at Denver and Canada to go back home to England without my luggage because you lot couldn't flipping send it to the right place. I know what I said. And I know I said I sent Forrest an email saying I wouldn't be going to America. And if Forrest was here, he'd tell you. Oh dear, why is everybody falling out? You rest your case. You rested your case at all. What the heck is wrong with you? You're one of those people who say, don't call me stupid, and yet you talk stupid. I don't get it. I do get it. I understand. I understand that greed. I was there. I did it myself. I've just told you. I went to America trying to get a chest of gold. I was going to take it to my hotel. Nope, that wasn't going to happen. I was going to take it on the plane. Nope, that wasn't going to happen. I understand it. But I don't attack other people because of it. Pirate! You just need a can-do attitude, yes. A bit like Forrest. Well, I've done what he said in the poem. I've told people about Stuef.com. I've told them about the timer. And I've done it now, as Forrest said. Begin now. I don't believe it. I don't care. No. I'm trying to go back to King John, who flipping, went on the crusade with Robin Hood and those sort of King Johns, not that King John. No. Yeah, I'm pretending to take it on Ghost, but I'm not really that angry. Just don't get it. If anyone here ever lost the most beautiful lover in the world, then see your sister, post a photo, and it changes your whole day to size. That's today for me. Hey, if you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world, and if you did, wrong word, didn't I? Thanks, Anna Joe. Thank you. I don't need fake friends anyway. I know lots of nice, genuine folks. Yes, that's how it should be. The prophecies of the Bible are taking place now. It's all coming to an end. Oh, listen, I can't deny the Bible code. It exists and talks of things that happened. So, 100% accurate. How it got there, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the same way as Forrest wrote what he wrote. Maybe the Bible doesn't mean what you think it does, but all the other stuff does. I don't know. But it's definitely there. But on a lighter note, which is not so heavy, I'll make stewed peppers for a camp out or something. Don't bring no stuffed toys. Yes, Gorman, he started everybody off. Voiceover Mario. Eh? What? I don't know what that is. Oh no. Zozo using big words or spelling them wrong, I don't know. Ace morning. Account man takes his eyes off the road and crashes into my concrete wall. Oh dear. Poor man. Poor wall. Hope everybody's okay. Scattering debris of about 40 feet of wall into my yard, pool windows, neighbour's window. Ooh. Well, I hope everybody's alright. Francis is the last pope. He is the Antichrist. He is making a one world religion. You can see videos on YouTube. Yeah, I think that's the issue, isn't it? You know, the four horsemen of the apocalypse and blah blah. Wormwood, which is Planet Nine, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, and the others planets that go around it. The second coming of Jesus started in 63 AD. It's all over. The church lied and people died. I don't think so. The Bible's got 100% record of being correct in what it's predicted. So to bet against it, I don't know. I don't know. You got to have some balls to bet against that. It's a Malachi, yes, but that's not the Bible prediction. That's his prediction. Well, it's the Bible's prediction, but it's the Bible's prediction because of the Bible, not because of Malachi. Now he might have got it from the Bible. I heard you drunk street. I heard you drunk street say you heard it. You don't remember. There's no need for that street. Writings on the wall for the chase. It's all but said. An ending is just the beginning. You arrive back where you started. If you finished at the end, or if you finished at the beginning. People forget that. In your solve is to arrive back where you started. Everyone in here has had a different dream to each other of what Forrest done. The purpose of the chase is very specific. You need a specific answer. Forrest fans answer, not a general answer. Lily, he said he was playing with his balls. I never flirted with you, ever. You're so not my type. In fact, you just dream. The Pope lineage is not in the Bible. Is it not? Are you sure? Have you read it? Do you know the Bible code? I can't say I know the Bible code, but I can say it's possible that If people, well, it's just possible. I used to put secret compartments in stone fireplaces, Topic. So you can find it. Hear me all listen good. That's a pretty good way of saying it. 63 AD, Jesus. Then, and then that word began the prophecy. Again, people complain that man wrote this, that, and the other, and then use it as evidence that these things happen. Either the evidence is true or the evidence is false. It can't be both. Either there is a God or there isn't a God. And if there isn't a God, there isn't a devil. And then there's nobody to blame for the good, and there's nobody to blame for the bad, and we're all just a bunch of arrogant assholes. A terrible, terrible ending is coming. Maybe some of it this year. Most of us, I believe the Earth goes through many cycles, and we're heading for one. A lot of water. I was talking to Street the other day. Those heads on Easter Island, that was probably a big, massive country or continent. And with the flood and the water, it covered up those statues. It's not just the heads, it's the whole body, the whole statue. So it must have took some force to take the land, the earth, lift it up that high and cover those statues. So I would say it probably happened around the time of the flood, that every religion has a flood. But that would mean that those people who built it, made them, created them, crafted them, whatever it is, had better technology than we had. We'd struggle to do that now. We couldn't move those pyramids. We couldn't move them stones now. They say, 1,000 men pulling it. Try this. Here is a block, a big block to build a pyramid. 1,000 men pulling it. We need to get it in place. What? What? You can't get 1,000 men to put it in place. If you can get 1,000 men to pull it, oh, now we need to get it in place. Up that ramp and then slide it into position. No way. No way, Jose. You couldn't even get 1,000 people to pull it. But to get it all aligned? What are you doing? Just pushing it? No. No, 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 no. No, no. No, no, no. No, stop it. You're just being silly. Just being silly. That didn't happen. And for people to try and say that's how it happened, that's even worse. But for people to believe that's how it happened, that's even worse. Have you seen the size of them stones? Bigger than a house. Thousands of people pulling it, and they get it to the point where they want it to be, and then they've just got to shift it into place. Perfect. In a way that we couldn't do now. Perfect. Shut up. You too, Cooley. Thanks for popping in. Won't be as bad as 536 AD, or will it? It's going to be bad. I reckon, more than likely. I was talking about teaspoons in the ocean. They're going to move. And obviously, the first place you're going to go to is a ring of fire. If that does go, then the water that shifts from there is obviously going to go onto land. So I reckon it's going to be pretty bad in that area. But I reckon it's going to be pretty bad all over the world, not just there. And I think we've had bits of it already. True to the bells. Terrible is only coming for those who cannot accept the facts. Well, just go to high land very high land. And I think you'll find that some of the rich people are already doing it, already moving from, the place of danger. Yeah, I think, it's hard to believe that if there's one God, there's 900 religions, or however many there are, for the one God. It's just crazy. If I started with a rock mountain, then it's all downhill from there. Yes, I'd agree with that. The poem, and then solve, specifies there was no treasure. You just get a poem answer, no trove. No, you get a trove. There is there is an answer for everything that Forrest said. Everything that Forrest said, there is an answer, and there is a reason that it was said. Now, I don't know if Forrest has decided to put all that into a book, one of those three books, to explain to people how he managed to do this, or whether he'll just come out and say hello. I don't know. Chaos comes and then embroidery shows it back up. I'm not arguing about perfect belief. I have my own opinions on religion. It's going to be a ride, so buckle up. It's already been a ride. What a ride! What a ride! Isn't that what he said? One giant leap. No, one, one. I can't remember now. One giant leap for mankind. I don't know. One step for man. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. What a ride! What a ride! There was actually good for the same content on here, but you buried it. Good night. Good night. That's how it goes. But I didn't say it was buried. It might have been sepultured. Fenn felt there was embroidery, and the solver is chaos. Nothing more, nothing less. I believe you are reading incorrectly, 5. The poem absolutely tells everything that's needed to be known. Yes, I'll grab my lawn chair, pour a nice bourbon, light a cigar, and sit back and enjoy the show. I'll be ready to meet my maker. Now priests and nuns are leaving the Catholic Church because of the Pope. Wants to tell a story. I don't think you get it, David. Nor will you ever. No, the solver is forced to tell a story. Well, I don't think the solver is forced to tell a story. There is no force. The statement, it's up to the finder, does not say, well, the finder's going to be forced. I don't know what that means, trusted. Gepido, Jeepido, Bibidido, do 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 do. It's calling home his Pinocchio soon. What? That's worse than what Dillard writes. I have no idea what that says. Gepido is calling home his Pinocchio soon. That's worse English than I write. Pope has made a new religion without Jesus and Mary in Abu Dhabi. Ah! Reminds me of a joke and I can't remember it. Something to do with they don't do it in Dubai, but in Abu Dhabi do. Something to do with the Flintstones. Oh, they don't like the Flintstones in Dubai, but do in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi do. They do in Abu Dhabi do. Abu Dhabi. But in Abu Dhabi do. But them in Abu Dhabi do. Something like that. Ruin that. Ruin that. Pirate, why are you retracting? Don't retract. Solver could tell a story that is important to the chase. Solver has to explain why he doesn't deserve a trove via a solve that says, this is all you'll find. Solver has to explain why he doesn't deserve a trove via a solve that says, this is all you'll find. Solver has to explain why he doesn't deserve a trove. But that's just it. That's probably you, 5. Anyone who claims they found the chest doesn't deserve it. It doesn't want to reward an average searcher. So if you claim you found a chest, then you're talking about everybody who claims they found a chest. That solver has to explain why they don't deserve it, because he doesn't want to reward an average searcher for finding a chest. Don't tell me you found a chest. I don't need to know your name. So all of those solvers that you're talking about, 5, that's what that's talking about. Don't deserve anything, because all you did was find a chest. Didn't solve the poem. But the statement, it's up to the finder, it's out of my hands, there is no force. There's no being forced, and it's up to the finder. All followers of Jesus will be persecuted. What? Dude, please, I've got some heavy shit for you all one day. No, it's not that heavy, 5. It's not. When the heavy stuff hits, you'll know heavy. You'll know heavy. Absolutely. And I hope you're sitting down when you hear whatever, whenever. I hope you're sitting down, because it will hit you like a ton of bricks. High star, not 5-star, like 5 leave. So Christians must be the ones doing the persecuting then. If you look at it in the sense that because of Putin, Russia went to war. And because of God, Christians went to war. That's how it goes. If something's able to, then it will happen. It's just the way, we humans are. Which is not good. It's not good. There's the word. See, it's different, trusted, excuse me. It's different. That says Geppetto, and yours says Geppetto. He's calling them now. Again, this is something that, just like the chase, no one's going to agree on. Because no one's there. No one was there. Nobody, as I have gone alone in there, nobody was there when it happened. So nobody can say for sure, for 100%, what Forrest was thinking, what Forrest was doing. You're not going to win an argument if you haven't got the answers. Doesn't matter if you know what he meant. What Forrest or trusted? God is a fictitious name. No, there is no name. That's what he said. You couldn't say his name. So-called half-Christians use the persecution as for pity. Isn't that in itself self-persecution? Yeah, but I know what you said. I didn't know what trusted said. I didn't know what it meant. Just heavy loads of water high. Yes, I've seen it all. No, that's not it. It's not it. It is not it. It is not it. It is not it. Trusted 350,000 people are thinking like you. And you've just explained that all of those solvers don't deserve it. You've just explained that. You've just said it. All of those solver doesn't deserve it. You'll find, and again, you're not listening to the simple truth. Forrest gave you ciphers. He gave you ciphers. He gave you them. How realistically, honestly and truthfully, even if it was my solve, how is that possible? If the person who set up the chase says, here you go, try ciphers, that's not helping anybody, is it? That's not giving anybody any help at all. Here you go, try ciphers. And while you're at it, try Bible verses. That counts your solve straight out. There's 2 solves there already. Foot pounds. Oh, another solve. No, no. And you'd be crazy to believe. I'm not being nasty. I'm just being honest. Crazy to believe that Forrest would give ciphers as an answer, and that be the answer to the chase. He would get lynched. He would be lynched. And you're the first person that complains, and yet you're not even looking at that happening. You're the first person that complains about everything that's going on in the chase, and yet you're not even looking at the fact that Forrest said, here, try ciphers. If you are the solver, you'd be lynched. You would be lynched. You used ciphers that Forrest gave you. No help there. No help there at all. No help there at all. To find a chest. Because, listen, please, flipping heck. There are no rules for the trove. There are no rules for the trove. There are rules to find a chest. And Forrest said ciphers would not lead to the treasure. Oh, it won't lead to the treasure, but it'll lead to a chest. Oh, you found a chest. Oh. So do people with Bible verses and spiritual souls. Then about foot pressures and head pounds or whatever other stuff. I know all of those 5. Seen it all. I'm telling you. Forrest could not give you the answer ciphers and that be the answer. No way. You would get mugged. He would get mugged. No. It should tell you straight away. It can't be that. Just like try the wheel. Try the wheel can't be the answer. If Forrest gave it to Sam. It can't be. That's because the Peanuts have Peter. Oh, could be worse. Could have been penises. My opinion is strongest. Use the force, 5. Yes, that's what they don't get. No one can think my thoughts. But, well, I think this. Or, well, I took it he meant this. Well, in my opinion, he meant this. Listen, please listen. What do you have to say in order that you may be able to prove that you have the answer? I can hear tumbleweeds. Forrest said. Them are the words you need. Guess why? Just one little guess. Why do you need to be able to say Forrest said? So hear me all and listen good. That's why you say Forrest said. Do you see how it works? Forrest said it won't lead you to the treasure. And yet you say it did. And I've just told you, Forrest. I said that quote won't lead you to the treasure. Yeah, foot pounds and pressures and Bible verses and ciphers won't lead to the treasure. I've said it, but not listening. No, I'm listening. They're not listening. I'm acting like K-Pro. Okay? I don't think I am, but yes, in the quote, in the statement, The head pressures, Bible verses, etc., ciphers won't lead you to the treasure, but offered us positive solutions. No, I know I've ruined that, but that's the quote, remember? So he gave you ciphers. Absolutely. Said, here you go, have ciphers. If that's the solve, you're a goner. You're a goner. He gave you inside information and you used it and you have to solve. No way. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Forrest did not give out the solve. Didn't give it out. Is the answer Forrest told me? Yes. Forrest. There you go. Troy knows what I'm saying. Abraham was listed as the first Nazi. Now, I remember seeing the signs. I saw the signs. Nazi's Hebrew word translated as prince. The time started in 1940. Well, it was supposed to have started when Egypt got their whatever back, which was 1950 something, but if I can remember. And Popeye was really a spinach. Eat the match. Where's Bluto? Mama said there would be days like this. She did. The funny thing here is you are not arguing with us. You're still arguing. No, seriously, David, the funny thing is they're arguing with Forrest. I'm telling them what Forrest said, and they're saying, no, that's not right. So Forrest is wrong. How does that work? How does that work? Forrest is wrong. Forrest definitely said about giving out ciphers and saying positive solutions for a chest, not the treasure. And don't tell me you found a chest. 5, why do you keep saying you found a chest? Forrest isn't bothered about a chest. Why do you keep saying you found one? That makes no sense. Don't tell me you found a chest. I don't even need to know your name. Because I know your name, and I knew, the answers I already know, I knew you'd find a chest with that cipher solve, and your name, 5, Leaf, belongs to that cipher solve. Which is what I was saying to Imagination of Innocence. Your solve is already known for a chest. Forrest doesn't need to know your name, and don't tell him you found a chest. I don't get why people keep going on about the chest. You all found a chest. All of you. That's why there's hundreds of you. You all found a chest. You shouldn't even be arguing that somebody else found a chest. You all found a chest. Why are you arguing that somebody else didn't find a chest? They all found a chest. Every one of you found a chest. You all found a chest. Forrest doesn't care. He doesn't want to know you found a chest. He wants you to read the poem. And still no God has even attempted to stop me from exposing it as a farce. Strange. But he doesn't need to stop me, does he? But Mama, that's where the fun is. Where's the fun? Where's the fun? Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Say the ladies have been saying that, and they sure know how to use it. Fun. Fun is the answer. Fun is the answer. You don't need fun and answers. Fun is the difficult answer. I kid you not. Fun is the answer. Once you get fun, you have the answer. I never said I found a chest. I'd been bitching the whole time. No, but you're looking for a chest, and that's where the chest should have been. That's what you're saying. I located the chest with this cipher, and it should be there, and they screwed me. No one screwed you. Remember Forrest saying? Remember Forrest saying in the K-Pro interview, 2 things have happened. Somebody beat me to it, or it's a hoax. Uncle Sam didn't make him pull it. They don't abuse it. Never gonna lose it. Can't. Oh, but it is. Poor little bugger. Can't find it or see it. Trust it. Hope you're doing well. Did you just call us sinners? Yes, I was singing the song. Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? All on that day. The devil said, Cinnamon, step right in. But what do you know about Uncle Sam? Hmm. Well, I won't go into it, but I probably know more about America than you do. The blaze is the forehead. Ooh, Pasca teepee bound. Oh, no, she wasn't Pahaska. Smith's Pocahontas wasn't Pahaska, was it? Pahaska tribe? The old Smithy boy. Was it the Pahaska tribe? Something like that. Wasn't Sacagawea. Yes, pirate. I hope it all is well with you. Oh, so blind, wasted time, wasted, all too much time walking on wire. On a high wire. It's a great song. A fun answer would be that Forrest the soul tells you this. But this soul, when I formally admit that and show the work, it'll be fun for some. Well, that might be, I think he made a statement to that effect. I can't remember how it went, but when you hear the statement, you'll know what it means. Because Forrest is diabolical. He knew he knew all the answers that were going to be found. He knew them all. But he made a statement. Please listen. Trying to stop you getting all wound up over nothing. No one can think my thoughts. If you have an answer, any answer, it doesn't matter what the answer is, 350,000 people have answers. If you have an answer that came from you, from your own work, from your own diligence, from your own smarts, it's not the answer. You can't think what he thought he said. 9 billion people he's talking to. Anybody in the whole world. Because he didn't know who was going to enter the chase. He was telling everyone in the whole world. No one, the whole world, no one. No one can think my thoughts. If you got an answer that wasn't Forrest telling you what it was, it's not the answer. It can't be. That is just simple logic. You cannot think what he thought. You cannot think it. So therefore, listen, all you need is the poem. The poem must give you the answer. And it must give you an answer that 350,000 people aren't going to go, no, I'm the solver. Do you see how it works? He must give you an answer whereby the 350,000 people that took part in the chase aren't going to go, no, I'm the solver. Do you see how it works? 350,000 people can't be the solver. And you're one of the 350,000 people, all of you, who claim to be the solver. It's impossible. I cannot believe that simple, very simple logic is too much for people. You cannot be the solver if you cannot think his thoughts, and there's 350,000 of you who cannot prove it. If you're the solver and you said you'll solve, they'll go, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Will something come? Yes. Don't quit your day job. You wouldn't. I'm not hunting treasure. I might make a good detective though. At least I know who Forrest is. Unlike you. At least I know where Forrest. Well, not going to go into that. But Forrest said, I can throw myself on that chest. Dare you to come find me. Not one of you did. Well, apart from the people that, I'm not going to go through that again. Okay, some of you did, but I'm talking about these people that found a chest. Where's Forrest? Who's Forrest? What's the story? Why are the hairs in the chest? Why, if you die with more than $50 in your pocket, are you a failure? You don't know. And yet you claim to be the solver. And you don't know all the answers to the questions that Forrest gave you. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Thanks, Troy. Thank God my answer came from the poem. Yes, yours did. Well, the first part of it did. If you are waiting on someone else to give answers, then you did not solve the poem. 100%. If you are waiting for an answer, if you're accusing Forrest of anything, if you want the family to do anything, like Granny and everybody else, if you're bitching and moaning about the thrill of the chase, you didn't solve it. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you're bitching and moaning about the thrill of the chase, you didn't solve it. There's not a chance in hell that if you're bitching and moaning about it, that you solved it. No way. Yeah, it'll come to an end and it'll put everyone in their place. I can tell you that now. It will put everybody in their place. And I don't think Forrest has any qualms of doing that. Yeah, well, he who laughs last, laughs longest. It's just how it goes. But I can tell you one thing. I did my very best for Forrest to explain what he was saying. I might have said too much. I may have said too much. But I can tell you that everything that you say, and all of you solvers, all of you, Forrest was going to affect the future. And you talk about finding a chest. Nothing at all to do with affecting the future. Nothing. Not not even, they don't even separate. That's how little you think of Forrest Fenn. And that's how much you think of yourself. The difference is you think you're everything and you think Forrest is nothing. Trust me. Trust me. That will come back and it will haunt you. That you give Forrest no respect at all. Who says I can't affect the future? Five Leaf does, because he found a chest. What? Troy does, because he found a chest. Dave Man from the East does, because he found a chest. And everybody who found a chest does, because they found a chest. And none of them can prove it. None of them. Way to go, Forrest. When you give the answer, I hope they're all sitting down. I really do. Because it's going to be a hard fall. It really is. I'm doing this for therapy. I think it's really helping. Good. I think it's all about, the big picture is. You're jealous. What? All gems were missing. Yes, all gems were missing. No, it won't be. 15 years? I don't think so. No way. You won't live your life. You will not live your. Listen to me now. Listen, all of you. You will not live your life from the time you find out to the time you die without thinking of the implications of what Forrest Fenn did. Listen, you will not see out your life without thinking of the implications of what Forrest Fenn did. I guarantee you that. Your children won't, their children won't, their children won't, and their children won't, and their children won't. And that's how much respect you give the man that did that thing. But you will. I guarantee you that. There will not be a day that goes by that you don't think, It'll never be forgotten. No, it won't, 5. Nice one. This video will be the only thing left. Trust me. Trust me. You underestimate Forrest at your flipping peril. Yeah, so tissues. Some gorillas in the room, a whale or two, but I'm the dinosaur, the big animal. Yes, there is a dinosaur in. I agree with everything you're saying, 5. Only that, it doesn't affect the future. Oh, you didn't find anything. You're still on private land. You got nowhere. You got no chance. You don't believe in the poem, Tracy. You want it, so it should not matter. I know you couldn't answer. That's another failure, David. No, that's only if we were looking for it, and if we did find it, it's of no relevance. But to be fair, I have said the date that you posted, or not posted, guessed, just threw out there again after the other date and the date before that, because it finished in 2014. 10 years later, you'll talk about another year or two. So you've had 2014 to 2015. I don't know how many guesses you've had in between that. Oh no, your book's in the library, isn't it? Or was in the library, because you solved it then. Only you hadn't, because that's come and gone. I wonder. It's not about us. I just don't get it. It isn't about us. It doesn't matter what answer you have. Unless your answer is about Forrest, unless your answer is about Forrest, you haven't got the answer. Do you know who's going to make it happen? You, and you, and you, and you, and you. Were you going to make it happen? No. No, you weren't. So who does the answer have to be about? You? A chest? No. It has to be about Forrest and affecting the future. There's a story behind the chase. You haven't even got the story. You haven't even got the treasure. You've got a chest that doesn't exist, except in your imagination. So both couldn't answer. Well, I can answer if you want me to answer, but you don't want me to answer. My wife won't let me forget Forrest Fenn. Bro, I laugh so hard at this. Well, again, I'm not angry, and I don't really care what you think or say, as long as it's not disrespectful. It doesn't matter. What matters is this is out here for you to hear. You disregard it, basically because you don't listen, have never listened to anything that Forrest said or did, and not listening or are not listening to what could be instructions as to what Forrest Fenn did. So when the news does hit, I hope you're sitting down. I really do. Not for me, but for the world. Thank and hopefully. I can't wait. I've wanted what he's going to reveal for about 30 years. Shh. It was only supposed to happen in 2010. But I can't wait either. Not, it's way out of my league. It's, something I've not even thought about, something I would have, told him he was stupid. But the fact that he thought of it, the fact that he made it happen, the fact that he hid it behind the chase, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. The fact they could write that poem in the first place, even crazier. He didn't even need a book. He had the poem and he had to put it somewhere, so he wrote a book to put the poem in. That's even crazier. It's like, what? I don't know. But yeah, yeah, the world, you know. Don't kid yourself, trusted. If Forrest knew it, he told you it in the poem. Not me, he told you. You trusted. He told you it in the poem. Trust me, he told you it in the poem. He told you what your soul was. If you listened to him and you didn't have to do all that you did and get it wrong, however many times you got it wrong, and then guess again and guess again, you just had to read the poem. It had told you the end, what your answer was, and how wrong your answer was, or how right your answer was. But you're in the poem, trusted. I've shown you in the poem. And all I have to do is read your name and read what Forrest says about you. That's how the poem worked. And if you don't believe me, there are other people in the chase who can read the poem who know. I would love to put the gloves on with some of you people and give you a tune. Oh, you're talking about me. Sorry, Newman. I didn't know I was upsetting you as well. No, I don't claim anything. I'm not claiming. I'm telling you, there it is. That's not a claim. I'm pointing out to you, look, here it is. Here. You can see it for yourself. Work it out for yourself. You don't need me to tell you. There it is. Is that a claim? Or is that a statement of fact? A mere statement of fact. There it is. Read it. Oh, reading the poem. Oh, isn't that what you're supposed to do? And you don't like it. Don't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter in the slightest. I don't care whether you believe it in the slightest or not. It isn't about, it's not about, it is not about you, me, Davy, or anyone. It's about Forrest Fenn and the whole world. And if you bother to listen and bother to read the book and bother to read the poem, you would understand that. But you haven't. You've gone on your own journey into your own mind and your own thoughts and tried to claim that that's what Forrest Fenn said. And yet he makes a statement, no one can think my thoughts. So whatever you thought of, oh, hang on, whatever you thought of, no one can think my thoughts. Yeah, but I think it's, ah, you think. Yeah, but I took it to mean, ah, you took it to mean. Yeah, but when I did it, I thought, so it's what you think and what you thought and what you took it as. But Forrest said no one can do that. So therefore, whatever it is, I can't say it's wrong, but I know really it's wrong. I can't say it's wrong. But if you thought it didn't come from Forrest, it can't be right. Can't be right. And that's just simple truth that you don't want to accept. That's fine. But here it is on the 9th of July, 2024, the statement of fact. You didn't listen. Had your opportunities, you didn't listen. What did Trusted find? Trusted didn't find anything. He ended up with some private land, can't get on there. He thinks that's the answer. He won't do it. He's not going to bother. Yeah, but 13-year-old kids don't. 13-year-old kids like Scrabble and word puzzles and chess and cards. And it's just fun, isn't it? The chase is just fun, Trusted. But because you're, a few millennia old, maybe you're just a grumpy old man. I don't know. Continuous and chronological, don't forget, Queen, and chronological, one after the other. Has to make sense. Has to be in the right order. Even if a flutterby is a butterfly, you have to read it as the butterfly has wings. not has wings the butterfly or something. Has to be chronological. In Tim's world, all cable installers are female. They would be. Yeah, but forget all that. The stuff has to work. Nothing as liberating as the ultimate poem answer. No, there isn't. What is it? There's more clues in the first edition, Forrest told me. There's more clues in the first edition. Well, there would be nine clues already, because that's the poem. And then there would be at least one more. Maybe there was a telephone number. Maybe. So Queen is there twice, but my first name, middle name, and last name are in the poem. Yep. I think you're right about everybody, Queen. They think I'm just bullying or whatever. And they can read the poem, they'll find the answers. And they'll find out about themselves. And it will, if they read it properly, it'll come as a shock to them. But bear in mind, you have to be English, because American searchers can't solve it. So the poem says. And I think the poem must be right from, the flashback that I'm getting. I don't mean flashback, I mean. And that makes it wrong? That makes it wrong because it's an old method. Oh dear. Trusted. 350,000 people solved the poem. 350,000 people. Nobody has the same thoughts as you. Get real. Get with the program. And if no one ever wants to talk about the ultimate poem answer, then that's because it's ultimate. I'm back, been doing my crafts for my show. Woo! Hope it went well. What? What does that mean? Do you put earplugs in? None of this has come from me. I don't know how many times I've said it. It's not about me. It's about what Forrest Fenn did. The fact that you think it's about you, the fact that you think you solved something, proves you didn't. What's that got to do with anything? Trust it. I'm stupid. I've told you I'm stupid. You trying to say that I'm stupid is not going to make me feel intimidated or worthless. I know me. I'm not bothered. The fact that you think you're smart, you need to be bothered. You really need to be bothered if you think you're smart, because you can tell me what a Kabbalist is, or Kabbalist is, or however you want to say it. You're crazy sometimes. There is no relevance if I understood it or not. But you seem to think that these cults and religious orders are the be all and end all of the world. No, they're not. There is a simpler truth than that. Kabbalist. I don't care what the Kabbalists are. The statement is you're saying those people have been doing it for thousands of years. And we can't be right because those people have been doing it for thousands of years. British English or English English? It's different in my mind. Any English, you see, that's the difference. It's got to be English English because there is the Wales type of English, the Irish type of English, the Scottish type of English, and the English type of English. And then there is the London type of English, the Birmingham type of English, Liverpool, Manchester, and Newcastle, and all the others. So one would have to say, Queen, it is the Queen's English that you're looking for. The Queen's English is what you're looking for, not any of the others. Not British, the Queen's English. Not to be trusted. Do you know how your brains work? Mr. Self-Diagnosed. I once had a paranormal experience with photos, and a Kabbalist gave the best answer and lent me a book. I'm not saying you're stupid. You claim it takes an English person to solve the poems. I don't claim anything. Again, just unblock them, please. I asked you to listen hundreds of times, and you don't. These are not my claims. I show you what it says in the poem. Did I write the poem? No. No, I didn't. I did not write the poem. I don't say you can't solve it, as Americans. Forrest says you won't solve it, as Americans, because you can't spell. In English, you can't read. In English, and you don't even listen in English. You do it all in American. Do you see how that works? Did you hear anything that I just said? Did you understand anything that I just said? I'll repeat it again. None of this is me. These are not my thoughts because I can't think Forrest's thoughts. I can only listen to what Forrest says. And Forrest is talking in the poem because the answers I already know are in the poem. Do you see how it works, Trusted? Of course not. It doesn't matter. Queensbury rules. No, that's boxing. Stupid Americans. No, he's not saying you're stupid. See, you get all defensive and all nasty. He's saying, please listen, and I'm saying on behalf of Forrest, please listen. You spell differently than we do. Forrest learnt English for a bloody good reason. He learnt English. He didn't learn English for, the fun of it. He learned it for a very good reason. And he wrote that poem. And he didn't write it in American with all your Z's and stuff. He wrote it with S's. Maybe it might have been more obvious if he wrote it in American. I don't know. Maybe he tried to obscure the fact that it was wrote in English. Maybe if he wrote it in American, the amount of Americans that were going to be doing it might have solved it quicker. Maybe he didn't want it solved quicker. I don't know what Forrest Fenn was doing. I do know that he tried to disguise what he had done. Now, please listen. You say in the chase, Fenn speak. That's Fenn talk. Did you learn Fenn speak or Fenn talk? No. Now, I said this before, I'll say it again because you don't listen. If Forrest was French and he did a treasure hunt for $2 million, would you have tried to learn French? to see what that poem said? Of course you would have. You would have gone out of your way to try and understand what those French words meant. But you never once tried to understand what Fenn speak was. Listen, please listen. You never once tried to. And yet, in the poem, listen, you're calling it Fenn talk and Fenn speak. In the poem, so hear me all and listen good. Fenn speak, Fenn talk. So hear me all and listen good, because you won't understand a word that I'm saying. But hear me all and listen good. Did you? No, of course you didn't. But he told you. And you come out with Fenn talk and Fenn speak, and you don't understand it because it's Fenn talk and Fenn speak. And you don't try to understand it. You just say it's Fenn speak. But guess what? There's somebody here who tried to understand it, who went, hang on a minute, what the heck does that mean? How the hell can I understand what you're saying if I have no clue what you're saying? It's all double Dutch. So I need to learn double Dutch. Guess what? You need a lot of metal and resolve to learn double Dutch. A lot of metal and resolve. Ask Queen, she'll tell you. It ain't easy. It's difficult, but not impossible to learn double Dutch. You have no idea what I'm saying, but I'm giving you answers while I'm talking to you. I've got different paranormal activity. Photos of orbs moving, an orb moving in an empty hospital room, and one in my kitchen after a cold spot was felt. Ooh, spirits! Not gin or vodka, but real ones. Yeah, I'm just pretending, Davey. They know. They know no specialised knowledge and all that. They know. How's that ESOL program treating you, trusted? No, I shouldn't laugh because I shouldn't make out I know what you're saying. Davey, is the method you and used to misrepresent program? No, it's called word search. A child could do it. A child could do it. You yourself said. You yourself said. Idiot. Specialised knowledge. How can it be specialised knowledge? It's the knowledge given to you by Forrest Fenn, trusted. Why make yourself look stupid? You come across that you're so smart and you make yourself look stupid. The information given by Forrest Fenn. Jumpstart the learning curve. Teachers with ropes. Do you see the similarity to the teacher and the student? Do you actually understand what Forrest is saying? Jumpstart the learning curve. Teachers with ropes. No. Oh. I feel like Ozzy, who accidentally wanted to test his own concert when Christians outside. Created monsters. Well, Forrest said he created a monster, and he did. Yeah, they don't want to listen. They're in denial. They've found the chest. They can't even separate that from being the lure and not the treasure. I don't know. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I've even done videos on it. Idiot. You don't listen. You need a jump rope too. Well, if you're going to jump start the learning curve with teachers' ropes, you're going to jump. Oh, scooter. They jump. What does hopscotch have to do with treasure hunt? It's very hard to learn a new language at my age, one foot in front of the other. But that's it, The whole point is Forrest is telling you how to understand what he's saying. You just have to listen to what he's saying. So whilst it may be hard, Forrest said, if you get lost, go back to the beginning. Well, what's the beginning? It's simple to do when you just hear what Forrest says and then do what Forrest says. So if you get lost, go back to the beginning. And he knew people would get lost. GPT-5 is late because OpenAI's competitors came out with better stuff, so 5 is upgrading. Ooh! And how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. What, you saw Anne? Queen Anne? I haven't seen her at all. TTS is full of distractions which you clearly are caught in. I'm not caught in any distraction. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. And I can't believe you can't see it. You're all searching for answers. There's one person, 2 people here, that's not searching for answers. We're not bothered about all that stuff you're talking about. It's not important to us. We don't care. It has nothing to do with what Forrest Fenn is trying to achieve. It has nothing to do with it. All of that stuff that you talk about, nope. All of those solves you come up with, nope. It's not important to us. There is only one thing that's important to us, and that is that Forrest makes it happen. And that is important to Forrest. And he will then take his last flight to where even memory has not been. And you have no idea what that means. It makes me laugh that you say you're the solvers, and you have no idea of everything that Forrest has said. I can give you quote after quote, and you'll be like, what? Huh? I don't know what that means. But you're the solver. Yeah, you found a chest. That's it. A lure. That's it. In a nutshell, that is it. You found the lure. And I congratulate you for finding the lure. I congratulate you. Well done. And if you are the solver of the Forrest Fenn poem, I'll probably faint. But if you are the solver of the Forrest Fenn poem, I'll shake your hand and wish you all the best. I'm not here, never have been, from my very first video. I'm not here to say I'm the solver. I'm here to give you information that this chase, it's not a bad place. You may think it is, and you may have made it a bad place, but it's not a bad place. It's a good place. Only though, and I mean this with all my heart, only if you have faith in the Maverick. It's a brilliant place, if you just have faith. Now, listening to all the things that you say, not even regarding the chase, I know that's one thing that's lacking in very many of you. You have no faith, none. You are prepared to condemn before you even hear what may be the truth, because you've already made up your mind. And that's where you fail. It's your mind, not Forrest Fenn's. This chase is exactly like the religion you put down. There is only one creator. There are only his rules. And if you cannot follow that, if you do not have the faith, if you absolutely do not have the faith to follow those rules, then you are lost. And you need to go back to the beginning. Because wherever you are, it is not, I repeat, is not in the thrill of the chase. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. You wouldn't know fun if it slapped you around the face. I've already explained it, Trusted. More than once. It's why I say you don't listen. I've already explained it in various videos. And it might be my way of explaining it. It might be different than your way, but trust me, my way gives proper answers, not made up answers. And it's no ledge. I'm not after knowledge. I've always been after wisdom. Whee! Chase more fast than one answer, I'd say. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, you're not in the chase. Okay, you don't believe I found what you found. Fine, it doesn't matter. Everybody found nothing. What's the point in me worrying about what you found? Hey, Mary, you know that little swirling thing in a time tunnel? It's so real. Well, I didn't. Yeah, that. So the time thing, but it could be a spiritual thing as well. That swirly thing, but the swirly thing on my screenshot, whatever, is the film. You know, the final countdown. So yeah. Hey, Mary. Oh, I've done that. Maybe. Maybe. I never had a soul. I was always trying to find out who for homework. Looking all the wrong places. So that's okay. Yeah, I think you're getting very close now with some of the stuff that you're seeing. I don't know what that's for, but thanks, Newman. It's not about what you found. Oh, the faith and the, yeah, not about what you found, Tracy. That's the point. Well, that's true, Trusted. If we weren't told that we do not have a clue what you found, presuming you mean current. Baby, it's about testing false claims. Well, it's not about testing them. It's about seeing. Well, yeah, I suppose you say testing, but all those claims are there for you to make. And the statement, if you get lost, go back to the beginning, even though you know that you're lost, you won't admit it. The chest is the lure. How can you keep forcing a chess solve as the correct solving of the poem when the chest is just the lure? If the chest is just the lure, you took the wrong bait and you have the wrong solve. It's that simple. It's not harder than that. You took the lure, which is the wrong one. The lure is not the right one or the correct one. You took the lure. You had to have a correct solve. You took the lure and you're claiming that that's the answer. What? If the chest is the lure, the solve cannot be anything to do with the chest. It's impossible. The chest is just the lure to get you there. So if your solve is the chest, it's wrong. Has to be. Now, I can't say that you are wrong, but I can say if the chest is just the lure, that's not the answer. It can't be the answer because it's just the lure, which means if you're trying to grab hold of that, you aren't grabbing hold of this. So if this is your claim, it's the wrong claim. I'm just showing you this, but really, it's this, but you couldn't see it because you're too busy watching this. Well, this. I don't get it. I don't get how you can argue something which is so obvious that what you're arguing is incorrect. You cannot have the correct solve if you found the lure. It's impossible. It's a crazy thing to say. It's a crazy thing to say. I found a chest that Forrest doesn't want to know about, and I'm the solver. Crazy. I found the end of the circle. Do you mean the hacking or do you mean in the poem? Being interested. You have not found what the chase is. Yeah, nobody's found the story. A lure is a bait for fishing. Well, a lure is anything, isn't it? You know, a naked lady in the middle of the road is a lure for somebody to jump on the person that gets out and tries to help them. I found me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. Woohoo! Davey, stop trying to insinuate you know something you don't. Oh, Davey knows something. Fenn was fishing. Well, he certainly fished. And he caught all of them. He said, I didn't want to catch any fish, I wanted to catch that fish. But he caught every fish there was. He chucked out all the lures he needed and he got as many as he wanted. Them Zoom links are a murderer, but they got trapped and documented in a sting up. On the chalkboard, look at it. It's Solbury, the hill. The swirl is around. Yeah, the shape of the ship, you mean? You talk about my screenshot first. Oh no, you're talking about the Stuef.com. Yeah, that's what the relevance. Yeah, yeah. But that's what I was saying. What I said earlier, that swirly thing on there, the spiritual. There's a spiritual connection if you can use that swirly thing, because I didn't want to just say it was just that. I wanted to put that clock on that I said earlier, the 6 days, 32 minutes, da da da, 42 seconds, whatever it is. 6 days, 2 hours, whatever it is, whatever it was. Anyway, it took us to the 15th. And I wanted to put that on because everyone was talking about 15. And I thought, well, that's a bit strange that I've just found some numbers that take us to the 15th. I wanted to put that on there, but I couldn't, so I put that other one on. But both work just as well. But thanks for that. I don't call it a chalkboard, but I suppose it is a chalkboard. And we were talking about that before we did um, the poem. We talk about Stuef.com and why those are on the chalkboard and not in the room. So there's not a picture of Einstein in the room. There's not a picture of the bird in the moon on the room. There's not the blaze on the biddy's hat, and there's not the buffalo bison, whatever it is, and Fenn rock and those sort of things. No, I think you can find answers to the lure. That's what you found, the answers to the lure. But the point was, you need to find the other answers. So if you bit and you're dangling on the lure, how do you get from the lure to what you're supposed to be getting to? That's what you need to know. Oh, you go back to the beginning. Get yourself off the lure and start again. Oh, he didn't find one in me. He didn't find one in me. I can tell you that now. Chaos. Yes. Hello, Amy. I don't know what yes is for, but yes. Ah, about the website. No, we're not doing what we think will benefit us, because what would benefit us would not say anything. That would benefit us. Don't need to say anything. As I've said over and over, as you're supposed to, as I have said, this is about Forrest. And if it was about me, I wouldn't be here now. I would have already said, this is about me trying to explain that this chase is not a farce. And if you weren't so greedy and so bloody minded, you would understand that. This is not about being greedy. This is about explaining Fenn speak. About explaining, you only need 2 clues. That's all you need to find the chest that you claim you found. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't listen. Because if you listened, you wouldn't be arguing now. You would not be arguing now if you listened. Now, listen, please. There is an easy way to find a chest. You read the book The Thrill of the Chase, and in the book The Thrill of the Chase, there is a poem that if you follow the 9 clues precisely will lead to the end of my rainbow and the treasure. You do that with none of the stuff that we've done, you get a chest with just a little imagination. See how it works? Just a poem. Read the poem. Don't mess with it. Don't do nothing. Find a chest just by reading the poem and a little imagination. Done. Finished. Finished. None of your super wonderful, magical, trips down wherever you go. None of that. You read the poem, there's the answer. Done. Finished. There's a chest in the Rocky Mountains. Hadn't moved in the 10 years since I put it there. There's a chest there. It's that simple. This wasn't about that chest. This was about something much bigger. Something that Forrest said, who says I can't affect the future? And yet you think it's about a chest, and you think it's about you, and you think you're brilliant, and you think you're amazing, and you think you're the only one that figured it out. Well, guess what? You didn't figure it out. You couldn't have. Otherwise you wouldn't be arguing. It's that simple. Listen, please, you just ignore it because you're desperate to be the one. But listen, Forrest said, if I told you the home of Brown, you would go right straight to it. Don't worry about Warm Water's Halt. Don't worry about the blaze. What the heck are you doing? All this bullshit that you're doing to try and find a chest. There's no need. Absolutely no need. Read the poem. Read it. That's it. Done. Finished. Finished. To find the chest that you say you found. Now, there was an outrageous dare as well. And a secret treasure. Did you do that? Of course you didn't. Didn't even think of it. Did you hear him say, does anybody know about my secret treasure? Of course you didn't. You heard it, but you never heard it. Now, I'm not trying to be nasty and I'm not trying to be clever. I'm trying to tell you the truth. If I told you the home of Brown, you go right straight to it. It doesn't get any simpler than that. If you know the home of Brown, why are you worried about the blaze? If you have the home of Brown, why are you worried about Warm Water's Halt? And yet you still want to look at 9 clues? Now, you can say you're crazy, you can say I'm crazy as much as you want. But I tell you now, where I'm sitting, it ain't me that's crazy. I heard what Forrest said. It's 4 a.m. again. It is. It's nearly 5 a.m. Someone who always has to watch us really knows, because I know how certain people gather their information and pull deep pranks in the chain. Oh, or play canasta. Stay home and play canasta. I wonder where that is. Or warm is comfortable. I wonder where that is. Or your best revenge is me wearing the bracelet. Or it's in a safe place. Or it's difficult but not impossible. Or all of those words that tell you the answer. But you can't hear it because you don't understand Fenn speak. What did he do? Ah, Discord, yes. Y'all, some people once told me if I leave Blaze page, and I'll bet they were shocked when I removed all laughy emojis. His interviews were important. Absolutely. They were more than important. They were everything. Forrest used the same words because he couldn't say them any different, because those words were written in the poem. In his imagination and your imagination. If you were prepared to think like a child. If you weren't prepared to think like a child, you'd read it as it was. If I told you the home of Brown, then you go right straight to the home of Brown. Duh. Well, that's it. So, did you? No. Don't tell me you did, because you didn't. According to the poem, you didn't. You didn't go right to the home of Brown. And you don't even know what that means. That as well, I know you don't know what it means. Put in below the home of Brown. Elbow. Put in elbow. I went outside for some elbow room, some below room. Went outside, and Donnie was quick to take the hint. And it's not a Put in. Put in. Put in below the homobrown. Not a put in. Not a car park. Not a boat ramp. None of that bull. You just can't read English, can you? Things like that are important, not just blocking users on your serious posts. Their laughies will stay there. No, I mean doing every single defensive maneuver. It's the start and the end, that's what it is. It is his special spot. Woo! It's the start and the end. One word is more important. Is there a key word in the poem? No. Is there a key word? Yes. Is it in the poem? Yes. But you need all of them. One of them won't take you there. Yes, one word is more important than the others. And it's important to know what is worth knowing and what isn't. I just found out this year what the key word was. Shh, Queen. What's going on? Everybody knows the key word. Yeah, it is a key word. And it's so obvious when you. Like when you know it, man, it smacks you in the face and you just think, no way. There's no way. It's just no, 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 no. No, no, no. Nope. And you look and you look and you look and you look and you try and work it out and you think, oh man, that's too easy. You see, that's how it's supposed to be. Here's the answer. What's the answer? That's the answer. No way. That's the answer. Just that? That's the answer. No, I can't reveal anything until Stuef.com does the doodah. So it works. If you read the poem, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But at some point, the doodah is going to be done. Do you understand it? Do you know why the countdown's there? Do you know why the time is there? No, you don't. But you solved the poem. You don't even know why the time is there. I've given a reason why the time is there. Could be wrong. Ain't about me anyway. But if the time is there and the timer starts, what's the one thing you can bet? The only thing you can bet on. The only thing. Having faith in a maverick pays off. You know that Forrest is going to do it. If that timer starts, you know. You know. And could be worse, could be 30 days. Once you know you've got it, put it on your bed for 30 days. Maybe, maybe it's already under the bed. Another stroke of the broken brush. Pedal. There is two keywords in the poem, one in the book. There are two keywords, one in the poem, one in the book. But you need to do the work. Yeah, you need to do the work. Well, you need the metal and resolve. It's easy to give up. Well, no, that's wrong. It's hard to know. It's hard to know what's worth knowing and what isn't. It's not easy to give up. Even if you, even with the best will in the world, all the trying is hard. But if the try is sincere, it's easy to think you're wrong, therefore choose another route. But if Forrest says you need metal and resolve, and they could be answers themselves, those words. If you need the metal and resolve, that means you need to do 167 words or 166 words, depending on whether you think there will be no paddle up your creek or just there'll be no paddle up your creek. So you have to look up all them words. From as to gold. As above, so below. Start at as, look up that word. As is at the top, gold is at the bottom. Start as you mean to go on. So look up all the words in the poem and try to make sense of it. And see if Forrest had subterfuge that was not in plain sight. Is there any subterfuge in there? Not in plain sight. So yes, there is, but you can't see it. Why can't I see it? Oh, because it's not what I think it is. Words don't mean what you think they do. And nothing is as it seems. So that means, seriously, I know you don't want to listen and you say it's bull, but that means the poem is not what it seems. Absolutely means that. If nothing, zilch, nada, zip, is as it seems, then the poem itself is not as it seems. And doubles down, words don't mean what you think they do. So you've got a poem that is not as it seems, and the words in that poem don't mean what you think they do. So therefore, whatever solve you have, you didn't get it from Forrest. You got it from your own thoughts. Because unless you understand them words, seriously, I'm not kidding. Unless you understand those words, your solve, not worth nothing. Yeah, one of them won't take you there. You need all of them. I'm okay now. I'm okay now. I've done what I set out to do. The only reason I'm here is because the poem says, tell them this and tell them this and tell them this. And this one specifically says, tell you now. And it just so happens that lately, even if these ones that I'm looking at now, which I never even thought I was going to be looking at, even if I found them 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I couldn't tell you till now because Stuef.com didn't exist. It never existed. So how could I tell you the answers to be revealed about Stuef.com when Stuef.com didn't exist? Even if I found it 6 years ago, I couldn't tell you because Forrest made a point of saying, you begin now. Now, when I read it. If I read it 6 years ago and I was going to tell you then, that would have screwed everything over. But Forrest seems to know that I wouldn't have read that until now, until Stuef.com exists. That's weird. How would he know that? How would he know Stuef.com is around 5 or 6 years after 5 years after I told him that I wasn't looking anymore? How would he know that I would look? How would he know that I would look? When I told him I wasn't looking anymore, how did he write in the poem that information? And then I find it, and just as I think well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to do nothing about that. I look down and it says, you begin now, Mario. I was like, oh, okay. I better go live now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone live. The only reason I went live is because of the poem that talks about Stuef.com that didn't exist before Forrest wrote the book and the poem. Go figure. And then tells me, now, when I said to Davey, and I probably won't go live now, and I look down and I see, Mario, you begin now. Okay, I'll do it now then. And it could be wrong and it could be all coincidental. But guess what? I've done this for 3 years, 2 years, probably more than 100. More than 100 of these bits of information. Wow, so many coincidences. That's amazing. And they talk about the chase. Everything that's involved in the chase. Even the, DB Cooper and stuff. It's in the poem. In the chase. The Amiga Man. All of it. The searches. Everything. It's all in there. I don't know how, but it is. So that'll do for me, I think. That's right, Mary. You couldn't find words until you were told those words. No. That means I wasn't looking for those words. Doesn't mean say I couldn't find them. I can find the word Mario without looking for the word Mario. I can find the word trusted without looking for the word trusted. Because it will come together with the sentence that you make. So, granted, there would be a first word. So, if the first word was trusted, I'll go from trusted. But more often than not, the first word might be poem. But, no, not more often than not. The first word would be, for me, Mario. So if I'm trying to listen to what Forrest said, the first word to be looked at would be Mario. And then there would be a statement. Now, if I look for who is the solver of the Forrest Fenn chase poem, yeah, I'd have some words to look at. So I would have to know the words first, because I'd want the answer to that. But I don't know what the answer is going to be, apart from the solver of the Forrest Fenn poem is. Do you think that'll be in the poem? The chase will finish, blah, blah, blah. Do you think that'll be in the poem? So yeah, I'd know those words because that's what we're involved in. And those are the only words you need to know, really, aren't they? Or are they? See, the information I've found is not in the chase. That's where you fail. It's not in the chase. You've never heard of it. You don't know what it is. You don't know what the trove is. You don't know who Forrest Fenn is. But it's in the poem. How? Listen. How can I know the answer unless I already know the answer? That's weird. How can I know what the answer is unless I know what the answer is? You've just said I have to know the word. I have to know the word before I can find it in the poem. But I already know what the answer is before I find the word in the poem, don't I? You admitted it yourself, just then. I have to know what the word is before I can find it. So I already know what the answer is before I find it in the poem. That's strange, isn't it? I already know what the word is. So whoever Forrest Fenn is, I already know who it is before I find it in the poem. I know his name. I look up his name and it's in the poem. That's what you just said. That's weird, isn't it? I already know what his name is, and so I look it up in the poem. I already have the answer. Why would I look it up in the poem? Strange, isn't it? It's weird. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Did I get the answer from the poem? Or did I have to have the answer first before I could look in the poem to get the answer? Out of your own mouth. Well, typed here. You said that. I have to have the words first. That means I had the answer first. I got the answer first before I looked it up in the poem. Some doing that is, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Get real. I've tried to tell you. I've tried to tell you the journey that I went on. And all you can do is try and criticise it. I don't criticise your stupid private land solve. It's not on private land. What if land is not an issue? And you make it an issue by being on private land. It's become an issue already. It's on private land. And Forrest says, what if land is not an issue? But your solve is private land. And it's an issue, you can't get there. So why would you even think that's a solve? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You've made your solve an issue about the land. Absolutely crazy. Hey, Richard, how you doing? I'm just about to go. But like knowing the right... Yeah. I missed that. Yes. Like knowing... Well, even the begin. Even the begin. If you don't know... If you get lost, go back to the beginning. But then you start... No, you know the place for the first time. So you were at the start and the end at the same time. You were at the start and the end at the very same time. And you know the place for the first time. That's crazy. How could you do that? Axis of upheaval. What, you can see Davey? Blimey, I can't see him. Where are you, Davey? You as well, mate. Look, there is no way private land is the issue. Anybody on private land, anybody on Indian land, forget it. Forget it. Forrest said you wouldn't last 5 minutes with them guys. Why would he put it on Indian land? The answer's in the poem. Simple answer. Simple answer. If you want a chest, read the poem, look up all the words, find out what they mean, read the poem, job done. Fill it on a post-it note. Well, probably even on a stamp. It's done. It's done. It's that simple. None of all this stuff that you talk about. Q's, ELP's from the beginning. Well, if you arrive back at the beginning and know the place for the first time, then you started and ended. Start and end in the right place. Another stroke of the broken brush. It's your brush that's broken. I'm telling you the truth. You don't like it because it's your solve, but what if land is not an issue doesn't mean private land. It can't mean private land. Cannot mean private land at all, in the slightest, because that's an issue. You know it's an issue. You yourself say it's an issue. So therefore, no, not that. It's doable, Forrest said. Do you even know how to sharpen old pencil? Not to be trusted. Another hit with a broken arrow. Sounds like starting at an entrance and ending at an entrance. It certainly does. but how deep's the hole? What sort of entrance would you be looking at? My guess is everyone that we were. My guess is everyone that we were to find a chest, but were boo-booed. Boo-booed. My guess is everyone that we were to find a chest, but we were boo-booed. Thought, yeah, I don't think we're fine to. Yes, man, make your claims. I'll make no claim. I'll make no claim. Stake your chests. I don't, the chest was never an issue, ever. The chest wasn't the issue. What's the deeper meaning? What's the real reason? Who are all these people? Who is Forrest Fenn? That was something else. And I apologise for not trusting Forrest. I regret sending that email. The need to trust. I trust the man I saw. I trust that man. Absolutely trust that man. And the poem was full of too much, way too much for me. And I'm going to cry in a minute. I even offered to give to Fendi. I have a video of me offering to give to Fendi. It's way too much for me. I said I would tell you everything that it says. I offered to give to Fendi. That's how, for me, it was scary. Crazy. How did you do this? Dave will tell you it was time travel. The remote viewing that everyone talks about. It was aliens. It was all sorts of things in that poem. And it's like, how does Forrest get the information? How does Forrest get the information that he's given in this poem? It's impossible. There is no way, my upbringing, the way that I see things, there is no way that this person could do this. I know he talks about the high hand and that, and, you have to believe that somehow, some way, it was made possible. Difficult, but not impossible, so it was made possible. And I was just, I don't know. The one solve is easy, not easy, not easy, not easy, not easy to do. The book solve, in the sense of the poem, is easy, and when you know it, you just want to slap yourself in the face a few times. But the rest of it, I don't know. A place with more than one entrance? No, just one entrance, and one exit, one way in. So it worked, Billy. Hi, Billy. I didn't say hello, but one way in, one way out. It has to be. One way in, one way out. Einstein entrances and exits. And they make their entrances and their exits. Daily takes a long time for you to go to make a claim. There is no claim. Trusted, you don't listen to a word, do you? If I was going to make a claim, I would have told Forrest 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was. 5 years ago. The claim, I've stated on YouTube what the answer is. You don't see it. But I've definitely put it out there. Not just one answer, but all the answers. You don't read. You don't listen. You don't see. But it's out there. You don't have to be a Mensa to see it. But it's plain sight. I've given the answer in written form and verbally. Nobody's picked up on it. I hope somebody has, but nobody in the chase has. If you start at the north entrance and end up just outside the south entrance, then you would start and end at the entrance to Yellowstone. Requires some imagination. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't think people can understand that what Forrest was awesome. I'm still saying is awesome. But yeah, I don't understand how people can't see the enormity of what's been done. They're still harping on about chest, and it's like, I don't know. Again, it's just a teaspoon of water in the ocean. It's nothing compared to reality. I'm not pretending to be anything. Jeez. There is information in the poem that I've showed you. That's it. Now you can take that how you want. You're claiming to have solved the poem. What am I claiming? What am I claiming? I'm claiming that Forrest Fenn is not a fraud and that he will make it happen because I believe and have faith in a maverick. You believe in the money that you want to have. That's all you believe in. And you believe that you're smart. Well, I can tell you now, you don't look too smart from where I'm sitting. You really don't. It is not about a chest. Does that get through yet? It's not about a chest. So whatever solve you have is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And it had nothing to do with you. Page 15 is not about trusted. It's not about Five Leaf. It's not about Street, Bill, Dave, man from the East. It's not about any of you. It's about Forrest Fenn. It's not about me, and it's not about Davey. And as I have said over and over, I will congratulate the person who did this for Forrest, with Forrest, alongside Forrest, however it was done. I will congratulate that person. But first and foremost, I will congratulate Forrest for making it happen. That's what you should be worried about. But you're not. You're all hell bent on being the person that solved it. And if you are, well done. What do you want me to do? But from the information, no, it can't be. You do not follow the instructions of Forrest Fenn. Therefore, that lack of faith in him and the belief in yourself, wrong way round. Wrong way round, in my opinion. I'm not being nasty, I'm just being truthful. Wrong way round. Have more faith in Forrest, less faith in yourself. And it's rubbish. What are you worried about? You know nothing that's happening in the chase. We know quite a bit. Ours is rubbish and yours is brilliant. Well done. What do you want me to do? Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Oops, there goes another rubber tree. Yes, as long as you're happy thinking you're smart. Forrest was smart. His mum was smart. Clever. I don't think we're smart. I'm not smart. I've told you I'm not smart. I'm just listening. Oh, your headlight's on. Hey, Jason. It's good to read you. Nah, he said it's about solve it and saying it's up to the finder. There's a story. Is it up to the finder if he says the story? Is it up to the finder if he claims whatever's to be claimed? What's up to the finder? Trusted, I came on to tell you what the poem says. Reading the poem. Do you read the poem? No. The answer to that is no. I know the answer is no because Forrest wanted to read what the poem says. Now he knows what the poem says, doesn't he? He knows what the poem says. What's the point in that statement? You don't know. Don't say you do, because you don't. But there is a point to Forrest saying that. You don't know what it is, because you haven't solved the poem and you can't read it. Even if I'm wrong, even if Davey's wrong, even if the flipping man and his dog is wrong, you are not correct, because you cannot read the poem. Other than, as I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches new and old. That's all you can read. Now, the statement itself, Mr. Smarty Pants, the statement itself, read me what the poem says, means you're reading it wrong. You don't have to be Einstein to know that. But you're not that smart, are you? Read me what the poem says does not mean, as I have gone alone in there with my treasures bold. It doesn't mean that, which means you're wrong. And you're not very smart to not understand Forrest Fenn speak when he says, read me what the poem says, because it doesn't say what you think it does say. Do you see how that works? Yet, after 4 years. Do you see how that works? Read me what the poem says is not as I have gone alone in there. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how you can be so thick and claim to be so clever. You can't read the poem. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Forrest could tell 9 billion people that they can't read the poem by saying, read me what the poem says. Now, if you're a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old, you say, well, as I have gone alone in there with my treasures bold. But if you're a 958-year-old, you go, hang on a minute, I can't read what the poem says. If I could, I would tell you, but I can't. Because obviously it doesn't mean as I have gone alone in there. And I don't know what else it could mean, because I have not read the poem. That's what a normal person would say. But if you're a greedy son of a bitch, you might say, well, I have the solve, and you lot are talking shit. I don't know. I really don't. I don't get it. I try to make out I'm angry because I should be angry. I really should be angry. I really, really should be angry. But it's hard to be angry. The man, Major Forrest Burke Fenn, is giving you every chance, every flipping chance to understand what's going on. Every chance he can. And you can't even understand that statement. I don't get it. That's way beyond my comprehension. That you can't understand somebody saying, read me what the poem says, different to what you're reading. Can you read it differently? Is there a different way that you can read the poem that you've not told us? If so, I yield. What? I don't know what all that is. Yes, I have to have been asleep like, 5 hours ago, but have a great time. Thanks for being here, Glenna. Oh yeah, it's night there and it's day here. No, I don't want to argue anyone. I'm telling you what Forrest Fenn said, and you're ignoring it as though it means nothing. But you can't read the poem, and yet you're the solver. He doesn't want you to read it as it's wrote. He obviously doesn't, because he knows what it says. And 350,000 people can read the poem that way. There is no point making that statement. If 350,000 people can read the poem back to him the way that it was written. Don't get it. I don't get it. With regard to the joke. Hey, if you are sure about your rules for the chasing poem, why not plug them into 5. It isn't about me. I do not care. I really don't care. I am here because, and I'll name names, Greg and Barbara would do some shitty stuff along with some other people in regard to what they would say about Forrest Fenn and the chase. And I thought that was, over the line. And other people have done worse since. So I came onto YouTube to say, look, what are you worried about? There is an answer to the poem. If you do these sort of things, you'll be able to find those answers. I didn't come on here saying I'm the solver. I didn't come on here and saying, I want my blooming chest. I want this. They've done me out of this. Blah, 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 like you lot are doing. I didn't do that. Because that's not the case. Something good is happening as we speak. You just have to believe that. That's all that matters. No, you don't understand that you don't even have a crutch. That's the issue, trusted. You have no ears to hear with. You have no mind to think with other than the greed or whatever else that drives you. Now, I don't want to fall out with you. I don't care what your solve is. I really don't. And I'm not claiming to have a solve. I'm claiming, here's some information that says, Mario, do this. So I did it. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. You don't even have to listen to it. You don't even have to see me or talk to me or do anything. You don't. I appreciate you being here. And I don't want to fall out with you. But I'm telling you, when somebody says, read me what the poem says, and you can't, I'm thinking there's something wrong with your soul. And that's just how it goes. I can't help that. I'm not being nasty. I'm just saying. Hey, you guys. I wonder where that's from. Come out to play with me. Oh, that sounds like Warriors. Warriors. Oh, where is Warriors? Come out and play. Blah, blah, black sheep. Have you any fur? Oh, not fun. It should be fun. Oh, you sinner. You sinner, to lie that I called you a sinner. I have been staked to the ground with a 20-foot tether. Oh, was that umbilical? Weapons in hand. I will go down fighting for this story. Fun and answers. Woohoo! But I think fun is the answer. I have to admit it. I think if they came out and gave fun as the answer, you would all understand. If they said, right, this is why fun is the answer, you probably wouldn't like it, but it's the answer. Fun is the answer. Fun and answers. All funsters. Better than I don't know what that is, a soda. So I guess the entire nutshell is to read him a soul from the poem. No, maybe you read me what the poem says and it's game over. That's it. Read me what the poem says and it's game over. Because that's what the poem says. It says other things as well, but when Forrest said, somebody rang me up and said I found the chest. And I asked, did the hot water affect Bettina? Put the phone down. They thought they got a clue. He gave a clue. He gave a clue. There's hot water. The treasure chest is wet. There has to be water. There has to be water. Are you listening, Dave, from the East? Bill, and anyone else? There has to be water. It has to be wet. I know the chest is wet. 9 billion people. Any time of the year, I know the chest is wet. Has to be water. Somehow there has to be water. Newman, 100%. Fun and dancers. Ooh. Lolly dancer, lolly dancer. I am more than that at 5-leaf blaze. A freedom fighter for all chap minds. But Seeing Trusted has mocked the poem, and its information would suggest he cannot read the poem. Seeing Dale's what? Dale's test. Dale's test. Oh, glad didn't say testicles. It is irrelevant. You keep referencing. I don't know what that means. Dale's test. Dale's test. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I'm referencing. They call me a blasphemer. Oh, you blasphemer. What's that? A blast thigh? A thema? Is that a thigh? Theme of the thigh? Thigh? My mind has fallen and can't get up. Hello, that person. The entire Rocky Mountains are wet. That's what Fenn said. Yes, he did. Well, there has to be water. Well, it has to be wet. There are places that aren't wet in the Rocky Mountains. So there has to be some sort of wetness. There has to be. The entire Rocky Mountains are wet, which means wherever the chest is, it's going to be wet. And if it's not wet where your soul is, it ain't his soul. At some point, he said, roasted nuts. What them roasted nuts? What has ever helped? I know. Would you want to be a YouTube superstar or a stupid solver? Both are irrelevant. Look, this is about Forrest. Always been about Forrest, making something happen for the good of everyone, affecting the future. If you can't be happy with that, there's something wrong with your train of thought. This heretic is saying good night to all. Thanks, heretic. Thanks, Zozo. It's good having you. I'm going as well because I can't even say, oh, it's still raining. I can't even say good night because it's daytime now. But have a wonderful time or sleep or whatever it is that you're going to do because it must be 12 o'clock-ish, getting on there, 11, 12. So, this is what it was about. If I can get it right. Not the brutal truth one. That was the tattoos. That was another one. That was the tattoos. It was about Mario. I don't know if you can read it. Mario, the answer to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So you start the reveal when, and only when, the Stuef.com timers begin. Now, there's an S on both of those. It could either be timer begins or timers begin. And I'll pull that up. Oh, I can't. That's not the picture. So you can't see the other words. How do I do that? Do I? Do I? Do it like this. Ooh, slow down. There, so now you can see all the words. But you can't see me. So, watch a bit and a bit. And this bit, I can't see it. You begin now, it says. If you look at the other bit, you'll see it. So you begin now. And I was debating with Davey after doing this. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was debating the fact that, nah, not really, thinking of doing a live show now, 1 o'clock in the morning. And as I looked, I read the last bit, which said, I was about to get it. People can't be bothered to look for themselves. So this is on the TTOTC bit, but this is you begin now. And it does say Mario, M-A-R-I-O. But for those people that didn't believe, it could have said Troy. It could have said Pam. It could have said Will. It could have said a lot of people. But I read it for me, not for a lot of people. So if your name's there, you could have read it as well, not just me. But it says, Mario, you begin now. As though he could read my mind 15 years ago, knowing that I was going to do this, and I couldn't have done it until Stuef.com came about. Knowing that I was going to do it at the time that I could have done it, because you lot would have been in bed. If I was doing it now, you lot would be in bed. I wouldn't be doing it now because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. But if I did it in the morning, you lot would be sleeping. So it's as though he knew that I was going to do it at a time when I could do it now, and you lot would see it. That's crazy. Coincidental, maybe, but crazy. I finished it. I debated. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I should, do a live. I'll probably just do a video or something. And I looked down and it said, Mario, you begin now. And I thought, oh, I better go live then, because he answered my question. A question that I was discussing with David B and myself, Forrest answered it in the poem, as though he was sitting there with us. Says, no, I do it now. So, Mario, the answers to Stuef.com is to be revealed after my poem secrets are translated. So you start the reveal when, and only when, the Stuef.com timers begin. And then I thought, and he says, Mario, you begin now. Or Troy, you begin now. Or Pam, you begin now. Or Will, you begin now. Or whoever these names are. Phil. There's Phil. Or is there an Andrew there? Andrew? Is it Andrew? Is there an Andrew in the chase? Any of you could have been talking to anyone. I can't get Queen. Q-U-E-N. Oh, the other E is missing. It's being used from Stuef.com. So, the answers I already know. Here's Mario. Here's Mario. Here's Mario. So Mario, this is the first bit. The answers to the Stuef.com. So that's why I did this. Oh, I'm back. I forgot I was alive. So that is the reason why I did this. Because I was asked to do it in the poem. Not because I'm trying to claim I'm a solver, but because I have faith in Forrest Fenn. I have faith in the poem. And the poem says, revealed when the time is. So, fun and answers maybe. Who knows? Who knows fun and answers? Only in your opinion. Oh, you're still arguing. Just give it up. It ain't worth it. The same parlour game with any good poem. Well, do it then. It's amazing how all you people say, yo, you could do it with anything. Do it. That's it. Let me see you do one. Just one. I've done hundreds. Let me see you do one that talks about the chase. A full sentence. At least 20 words. All connected. Continuous chronological. Any paper that you want. Do it. Let me see it. No AI, no bullshit. Just do it. We followed FF directions. It's just a game of word search. Why? I don't know. Just having fun. Forrest said it's supposed to be fun. Chase streams are funner than old man cards, but maybe not quite like darts and bowling. Maybe. No, I don't believe. Listen, the chase is about faith. If you've got no faith, and obviously you haven't, then you've got no chance. It's a silly game that is boring. Yes, it may be to some people. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. Forrest said it was a game. Forrest said 13-year-old, you know, it's supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun, you're not doing the thrill of the chase right. It's that simple. Yeah, well, don't forget, find the doctor. Find the doctor. There is a metal song about the banter and the competitiveness, like a jousting field of mockery, boister, and jocular. I'm not sure what boister is. I know jocular, but I don't know what boister is. Funky, foolish, FF directions. Here's what it is. At the end of the day, nobody has to believe me or Davey. But you do have to believe Forrest. And, you know, I can't say it's in your best interest to believe Forrest because you're going to benefit. You're going to benefit from, what happens anyway. Or you have the chance to benefit from what happens anyway. So whether you believe or not, that'd be like, because you like to talk about religion, that'd be like going to heaven whether you believe in God or not. So I can't say you have to, because you're going to benefit anyway, probably, if you choose to. So I'm not trying to convince you of anything other than, Forrest did something special. The chess was a lure. The poem is not what it seems. The chase is not what it seems. Words don't mean what you think they do. And if you keep believing that, you'll be forever lost. How can it be boring when it is amazing? Yeah. Yeah, it might be boring to some. The fact is, it's boring. Anything's boring if you don't understand it. If you don't get it, it's boring. It's only amazing when you understand what it is, the enormity of it. When you understand the enormity of it and try to understand it, get lost in it, however you want it, to explain it. Now, Davey, there's no need for that. You can tell when smart families have a drink, the words get bigger and more obscure. You don't need a drink for that big words, you don't. Not to be trusted knows not anything about faith. No, there's an issue there. Oh, because the pendulum's missing. A rap tap tapping. The raven. Oh, the raven. The pit and the pendulum and the raven. Yeah, there's no need to be like that. You're not deaf, are you, trusted? I'm only joking. I'm only joking. What? Always choose the pit. I think I'm going to go with 546. I don't know if that's anything. But it's the 9th for all of us now, I think. Well, most of us. It'll be nearly the 9th for some of you, nearly midnight. Oh, past midnight. Past midnight. So, you people who are up late, I think you should get some sleep. And I think I should definitely get some sleep. It's 6:45 in the morning. Thank you for coming in. Bloody hell, 11 likes. Trusted, 11 people liked it. Go on, hit it. Go on, I dare you. I dare you to say you like what we were talking about. You probably already have, known you. Again, I thank you for listening to what some consider bullshit and some consider evidence of Forrest smarts. You cannot deny that it exists. You can see it in multicolour, in his rainbow colours and his balls of string, all emptied out now and not a ball of string anymore. You can see it there. So it does exist. Now, you can make the argument that you can find it in any text. I don't believe that's possible. But then, I say to those people, well, do it then. It won't take you long, or shouldn't take you long, to find anything that Forrest Fenn said. Anything. I'll give you a couple of days to try and find a sentence in the chase that Forrest Fenn said. Any sentence. I've done it with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And I've done it with the words in the poem, and I've done it with the words out of the book. But I'm saying, you just find one. One full sentence. One full sentence is all you have to do. Won't happen. And you've got to do it in English, not in American. Casper, how you doing? Well, it's always good to be heard. Cheers, trusted. Davey, get out of the pit. Yeah, I agree with that. That's always working on his car, I think. He's been in there too much. The glorious ninth, a clockwork orange. Woohoo! Oh, we'll talk about the clock. Newman, back to the pit, you viper. Awesome movie. I think I'll clean off my weapon and get some sleep. Ooh, thanks, Marion and David. Thank you, Newman. Hope you rest well. It's been interesting again. Always is. Like I say, I'm not here to fall out with people. I'm just here to say, look, this is a good thing. Really, really, really good thing that Forrest Fenn is making happen. And the chest is irrelevant. Whilst there was a chest to be found, and you can find it, or could find it, or can have found it, however you want to term it, it did exist. There is a place for that chest in the Rocky Mountains. But that's not what it was about. Absolutely not what it was about. So therefore, whatever the solve is, whatever solve you have, there has to be the explanation of why there are two hairs that Forrest put in there. It was not to tell you about the person who hid a chest. It wasn't. It wasn't to tell you about the person who hid a chest. We have all the information we need about that person. So who is the person that those hairs belong to? I dare you to come find me, says Forrest. I dare you. Ciao for now. Take care. Thanks, everyone.